Hello, everybody.
Sunderfolk.
Oh boy.
Hello.
Hello, it's me,
Hello.
Max, and I'm joined by my friends over here for the Lab 404 podcast. How's everybody doing today?
Hello.
I'm in pain.
Life is pain.
I'm getting there.
To get one thing out of the way real quick, Tricky is going to be here. They're just running a little bit late. They have some family over and, family stuff. It do be what it is. Another thing I want to get out of the way real quick. The business thing, real quick. This is brought to you by Dubby. If you go to dubby.gg, you can get cool energy drink powder and mixes. Something I think I've mentioned before, they have a collab going on right now with Solo Leveling, and they have their own 2 flavors with it right now. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head. But one of them is like a punch, and one of them is some sort of less fruity, more mild flavored mixing with things. By using the actual fruit of a coffee fruit instead of just like the coffee bean, which is what coffee is actually from. That's where the actual energy part of their mixes comes from. It's very solid. I enjoy them. I can highly recommend them. And if you use code PORCHEM at checkout, you get 10% off your thing, and it helps support any of the things that we do here. Again, w.gg, code PORCHEM for 10% off. Okay, I've done my business obligations. I've done those little bit of things. Now we can talk about humans.
They're doing a collab thing with Solo Leveling.
They're doing a collab thing with Solo Leveling.
I want to try the funny anime video game flavor.
Well,
Also, sorry, Nubby.
10% off.
We're about to derail everything.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So how is everybody doing? How has your month been? Hi, Greg.
A roller coaster.
A roller coaster. That if you want to talk about it, you can, of course. Don't have to share. You don't have to tell us about the throes of let's see here. The throes of being a dog who wants to go and chase the car, but can't chase the car because society says it's not what you can do. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus for this, by the way. No, not at all.
That fucking car had it coming.
I have been existing for a month.
Yeah.
I went fishing at one point. That was nice.
Fishing.
Hell yeah. Cold fission generator?
No.
No.
It was very, very hot.
I'm assuming no one got the reference.
Nope. That one went over my head.
8-bit theater?
Nope.
Never seen it.
Really?
Really?
Well, you got something to recommend, don't you?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, honestly, I mean, to be honest, it is real old. Like this is this is like Shin old.
So like pre-2000s.
That's the measurement we're going for, huh? It's as old as Shin.
Old as Shin.
Man, Shin's.
He's got 10. He's about as old as me, probably. It's probably about 20, 25, maybe 30 years old.
Apparently, Snoo is louder than everybody here by a great. That's not the response you should have to that. Ow, says Gray. You heard Gray.
Existing hurts Gray. What do you mean?
Don't be mean.
I'm sorry, Gray. I'm patting you on the head, gentle style.
You know what? Just for that, how was your month, Snoo? I'm putting you on the spotlight. Spotlight shining down on you. I hope.
I've been. Oh man, not great. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I've run into like several just dead ends creatively, in the sense of like I go to work on something and then I immediately lose interest and I just sit, stare at my hands. Work sucks. I am still working on commissions. Speaking of Ronzi, so I had I had your commission, and then I have another person's commission, and this other person, it's technically some Pathfinder character art. So there's multiple people behind the second commission, and they are.
Right.
I don't want to say impatient because that sounds negative. They're excited.
They have
so-
they have a more expedient timeline.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna be moving them up. I did get the hardest part of yours done, so yours will be finished quickly once I'm finished with theirs.
Oh, what?
but-
Garuda.
Yeah, I finished the bug, the bug of Garuda. No, I got all of the sketching.
She's
for-
not a bug.
She's a bird.
She's got six
Oh,
limbs.
She's a
She's got
bird.
hey,
She's got. Listen, she's got six. no, she's
Ravana
got
is a
8
bug.
limbs. She's got 8 limbs and antennae. That's a
Those,
bug.
those are not antennae. Those are feathers.
They're full on appendages, bro.
You're a full-on appendage, bro.
I bet I am for you.
Okay, yeah. So just looping back, yeah. 8-Bit Theater launched March 2nd, 2001.
Damn.
So it is 2000s.
It is about as old as Chunky.
I will pull out Mox and snooze sex jokes in a hot second. Don't you dare.
That came out on my
And-
birthday.
Really?
Birthday.
Happy birthday! And it ended June 1st, 2010.
You know, I have
Happy
never
Pride Month.
seen 8-Bit Theater, but I have seen Chalk. Suspicious.
Hmm.
No.
I put that in. Yeah.
I guess my month has been
Right.
fun. I have been forcibly, okay, not forcibly. It was initially forcibly dragged into playing Fallout 76 with my family, and you ever play something with a group of people and go, "Wow, this really does capture having Fallout companions," you know?
You can't compare your family to fucking video game AI.
I don't know
Bro.
about that.
Bro, you know what? I was talking about this the other day. I'm gonna tell you a fucking story about what it is to play with my mom and sister, okay? And this is what happened last night. Okay, not last night, it was yesterday, but still. So, there are these things called workshops, okay? Basically, they are points on the map that you can take as a group or as an individual and claim it as your own. And they generate resources that you can use so long as you put things on there. The problem with it is that initially taking it, you have to clear it out. And then once you actually start taking it, you have to spend a couple of currency. It's not that expensive. And then for like a minute, everybody on the map can challenge you to PvP in response of trying to claim that instead of you. So it's a little scary once you do start trying to take it. Then, once you do have it, every like hour or so, a group of monsters will start to invade the workshop and you have to defend it, otherwise you lose it. And we had been basically turning a junkyard into our home. My family spent way too many resources inside of the initial junkyard, which is lost at the end of like a day because you can't keep it forever. But you can always reclaim it, and any resources you spend on it get funded to you. So it's not like it's a net loss. They're at least kind in that regard. I bring this up, and this is relevant, because remember, we are trying to turn this place into our home. I have invested an entire amount of my time to building my own base just outside of it to make it easy to capture. And then go on adventures, and then come back and defend it when necessary, right? So playing with my sister and my mom, we go out and do some things and decide, okay, what mission do we want to do? Hey, there's a mission down at the south side of the map. I want to get that done. I also have to get that done. My sister also has to get that done. Well, cool, we all have to do this mission. Let's go south to make it. I make like 10 minutes of progress walking, and then the world gets invaded by aliens. Well, let's go and deal with the alien problem. Okay, we go and deal with the alien problem. Let's go walk again. Okay, walking. Oh, hey, Mothman has showed up, and he wants to give everyone a blessing. Okay, let's go deal with Mothman. Okay, cool. We have dealt with Mothman. Walking. Oh, hey, we found a nuclear power plant. And my mom is eyeing this thing like it is a goddamn golden treasure or something. She is just drooling at the idea of exploring this nuclear power plant in a Fallout game. Okay? I cannot imagine that this place is going to be anything but radioactive as fuck. But, you know...
Red roaches and death claws.
We could go a little bit further beyond that and get to the place we're actually trying to fucking go. How about we head forward, guys? And then I hear from my mom, I went to the power plant. And now the power plant is yelling at me that it needs to be repaired. We have 1 hour to do it. Okay. Alright, turn around. Alright, let's go fucking deal with this. Get to the power plant. And this is what happens. We have 3 places we need to repair. We need to repair the control system, we need to repair the cooling system, and we need to repair some various other machinery parts to it. We start exploring it and fighting this place. It is surrounded by these almost like in-between ghoul things called Scorched. They're like still somewhat people, but they're not quite feral. They're an in-between of like a feral ghoul and a regular ghoul. And they're completely singed. And they use guns. Oh my god, they use guns. And this place also has a bunch of auto turrets for some fucking reason. So remember, we're here to go for the power plant now. So my sister decides, I'm gonna head north, the complete opposite direction of everywhere we've been going, and dies. That's great. My mom can't shoot the broadside of a barn in the video game. And, as I've explained to Chalk, gets bodied by rad roaches. So I'm having to fight this whole thing on my own, basically. And then eventually find the place we need to be, which is actually not where we are. We have been attacking the wrong part of the building we need to go to. We didn't know that. Finally make our way to the right thing, and we have to jump across all these pipes to repair them so that we can fix this. Then we have to go into the actual control center. Inside of the actual nuclear power plant, which is it has even more of these Scorched and even more turrets. My sister decides to rejoin us, and my mom ventures the wrong way into the place and goes so deep she finds the dungeon of the actual power plant, not where we're trying to go, and is vigorously trying to get into there, but can't because they require me, the party leader, to do it. Yay! The one little thing I have for babysitting that prevents them from going off on their own completely. I find the place we need to be. My mom and my sister wander in circles. They can't find where I am despite being just below me. I tell them go up. They somehow go left. No, go up. They go the opposite direction. Go up, goddammit. I'm dying. I'm fighting an army here. I only have so many stim packs and bullets. Please. I repair the second area. We go into the third area, and I literally, like, walk them to the third area. We repair that fully. Step outside. The place is repaired fully. This is a nuclear power plant. The whole place is now turned back online. We've done the mission. I got a cool flamethrower out of it. I don't know why God decided to give me a flamethrower for completing the mission, but whatever, I have a flamethrower now. We step outside where we came in, which is directly underneath one of the main towers of the nuclear reactor. Because it just turned on, all of the water inside of it starts boiling off. It is a cloud of fucking hot steam that greets us when we went outside, and I melt. I just melt. My sister doesn't even try to revive me. My mom is still lost inside of the place, despite the fact they were right behind us. So I have to respawn, go and try and pick up my shit from where I died, and then navigate my mom and sister out from the death cloud so we can get outside, where we find there is an unclaimed workshop right in front of the fucking nuclear power plant. And my mom wants to live there now! So despite all the work we put onto the fucking scrapyard, I have to now move everything, the base I made, the fucking scrapyard I have facilitated, to this new place on the whim of my mother.
What's funny about all of this is that I hear snippets of this through the wall as he's playing.
I'm actually having a lot of fun with Fallout 76. And I enjoy playing games with my family, don't get that wrong, but fucking hell, man. Oh my god. My sister is determined to play a melee character. They have purchased the character booster, so they have a character who is built around weapons. They chose not melee as their focus. And now they're running in with a fucking baseball bat and a chainsaw trying to kill things, and it's not working. And I don't have the heart at this point to tell them to change things around, because I don't want to build their character while I'm doing things, god damn it. I can't play the game for everyone, man.
Can't play a game.
Hey, it's an RPG. You can play a game however you like. Don't listen. Don't listen, Lily. Play it your way. Have it your way. It's now Burger King advert.
Hashtag not sponsored, but what if? What if?
Hey, you get a sponsorship from Burger King, I think you're legally obligated to play Sneak King on stream.
This is gonna ruin my chances of ever getting a sponsorship with Burger King, but I don't think I want McDonald's sloppy seconds, thank you.
Oh, them fighting words.
I don't really like Burger King.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I had it for the first time in probably like 7 years while I was on my fishing trip, and it's like, yeah, I would just rather be at McDonald's.
Anymore, I'm actually not gonna enjoy McDonald's.
I don't rate McDonald's at all. I very much dislike McDonald's foods.
I think I over-talked over.
That's fair. As I've gotten older, I like McDonald's less.
I think their food quality has dropped.
I think that it has too.
It's dropped, and their prices keep going up because they can increase it.
You know,
the only place that I had McDonald's that I actually liked was Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame.
As I understand it, America's McDonald's are the worst in the world.
That's so
that checks.
funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, you know, this is where it started, and we're the worst. Great.
This should be the best because it's our create. Nope, it's the worst.
Nope.
It's the worst.
Nope.
Speaking.
I mean,
of,
to be honest.
Sorry. Do your thing. I'm interrupting.
I was gonna say the only thing that I like Burger King. I think the only one of the big three I didn't have when I was in Japan, I think, was a Burger King.
Japanese burgers.
We had McDonald's. We had McDonald's. We had KFC. We had to have KFC because outside they had Colonel Sanders in a Christmas outfit.
Hey.
in a fully Santa Claused out. It's like, okay, we've got to go in there.
God damn it! My brain was
The
just
marketing
like,
worked.
Oh yeah, it's Colonel Sanders in a Christmas outfit. I date that. Oh wait, I did.
yeah, you did.
What do they call Big Mac and Friends?
The Royale. They call it Big Mac with cheese. Royale with cheese.
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. Well, they call it Whopper. I didn't go to Burger King.
So speaking of fast food things, in a gotcha update, our favorite, and by favorite I mean me and Chalk's favorite, character action gotcha game, ZZZ, is having it's about to hit 2.0, which is very exciting. They're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff, whole new story, whole new area, new characters, outfits for the protagonists and all that. That's really neat and that's really cool. They're also doing a pizza promotion where they're working with pizza chains in specific ones, where two characters, one named Bernice, who was Chalk's favorite, and one named Ambi, who was my favorite, are like the mascot girls for it. And you can get acrylic stands for them and a bunch of other ZZZ exclusive things and codes to get stuff in the game for just ordering pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? Except the only pizza place that's doing it in America is in fucking California.
Yep.
Oh, that's real annoying.
So I can't...
Not even nationwide.
No,
Jesus
I can't
No.
participate. It's like not
It's just some random pizza chain in California that I have never heard of.
It's killing me, bro.
I made peace with the fact that Hoyoverse does not do food collabs in the US. I made peace with that a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I have to suffer now. Let's see here.
Talking on sponsors, though, I mean, I think the question has been posed like a number of times as well. But I mean, there are people that do get the sponsors and everything. But like, what if you could choose a sponsor that would approach you? Who would you most want a sponsorship with?
Genuine answer or silly answer?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll start with the silly answer. I would like to be approached by fucking Tesla so that I can look at goddamn Elon Musk in the face and go, no, and then spit on him.
Funny is a story. We go into a segue on that at the very least. The shareholders have demanded that he work a 40-hour week at Tesla.
Good.
Lamau.
Make him do his fucking job and get off the goddamn internet.
Pretty much, yeah. They're like, no, like, if you want to remain like CEO, you have to work for a 40-hour week for Tesla a year. Well, no, oh yeah, 40-hour week over X amount of time. I didn't read the article fully. I just saw that they're demanding him working for a 40-hour work week.
In a genuine answer, I'd probably want to get sponsored by like Arizona Tea.
That'd be cool.
That would be
a
a
cool one, actually.
That would be a really good one. Speaking of that, and a quick little thing, I found that in ZZZ they actually have Arizona Tea knockoffs over in this particular like Wild Western place called the Outer Ring. In the dungeons that you run around there, there are vending machines that are basically Arizona Tea, but not Arizona Tea because they can't use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the question though is still up for everybody else. Sorry for hijacking that.
No. I mean, it was open to the floor. So.
Genuine answer? I don't ever want to deal with a sponsor. I hate money. I hate money. I hate living in a society that needs money. I hate it. I hate everything.
Rise up with communism.
Yeah, silly answer. I'm sponsored by communism.
For legal reasons, Mr. FBI agent, this was a joke.
Yeah, for legal reasons, I'm stuck in America forever until I die, so...
For legal reasons, this is a joke, and for legal reasons, we are accepting applications.
Hello, is a train.
Oh, hey, speaking of communism.
Speaking of communism.
communist herself. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Drinky.
Hi,
Mug's
What
your
have I
tuber
done?
is now all scrungled.
I know. I gotta fix this. Hold on. Be gone, Ronzi. Be gone.
No!
Be gone, Ronzi. I have to fix myself. I gotta go and cry over where I'm supposed to be. I have to shrink down ever so slightly. See, I knew as soon as Shrink got here, things were gonna give you a little topsy-turvy. It was fine.
No, okay, on stream, I'm still there.
That's because I had to move the screen down. I have it still pinned to the front. I had to physically move the window.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here basically doing that thing that you see all the sci-fi shows do, where my hands are up there and I'm swinging
Oh, yeah,
these
just...
tabs around. Yeah.
Yeah, just minority reporting it.
Yeah, same like when I'm running D&D for you guys.
Just got so creeped
Man.
out because I looked over onto my left monitor because I was staring at Mux's live stream on the right monitor, and all of a sudden Makaronzi's face was in the bottom right screen side of my monitor because the Discord overlay is on, and I was confused as fuck.
I'm so tempted to turn that one smirk screenshot I made of Ronzi into a sticker.
What you should do with that is that you should do one of those paint over things like they do for the WikiHow for it.
God.
just a fucking dog shit rotoscoped looking trace of his face.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I feel attacked.
We're not attacking you. We're
You
just
should.
turning you into a marketable
No, I know.
sticker.
We're laughing with you, not
Turning
at
into a
you.
marketable plushie, Ronzi. Come here.
With you. We're laughing at you.
We're Ronzi merch. Let's go. Need more
Yeah.
ideas.
Alright.
Makeshift. There we go. There's a sponsor.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I miss?
A bunch of things. We'll get to that in a second. Well, I'm gonna get to. I don't think Chalk has answered the question, but the question is if you could be sponsored by anybody, who would you want to be sponsored by?
Already know my answer. Yeah.
I unfortunately do not have an answer at the moment.
That's fair.
I guess now the spotlight's on Trinky.
Can you guys? I want you guys to guess mine. I've spoken about this a lot.
Doritos.
Yeah,
Doritos, yeah.
It's not.
Doritos. It's Doritos.
I very much doubt yours has changed.
I'm gonna be honest, until Ronzi said something, my dumbass was about to say Lay's. Lay's potato chips.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. A crisp brand would be
doesn't matter.
fantastic.
Yeah, but
I'm
I'm fairly
sorry.
certain
Give me them all.
you. I'm fairly certain you have specifically mentioned that like Doritos it would
I
be your
added
top
Doritos
topic.
for like the period of like 2 weeks asking for sponsorship, and then they would never replied until one of my viewers emailed them and they said they would not accept sponsorship opportunities at this time. And I was very sad.
Yeah, because I mean, like they do sponsors.
That was 2
but,
years
like,
ago.
they-
Should I try it again?
Why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, you could. You've got
not?
like
What's
your
the
EA
harm?
creator to use as to back that up.
Got leverage.
Genuinely, what's the harm?
Yeah.
Yeah, worst that happens is they tell you no.
Exactly. That's how I felt about all
Again.
my
My fear
sponsorship.
of rejection kicking in again.
Again.
I've been mostly fortunate in that most of the people I have been like, "Hey, could I get a sponsorship deal?" Have been like, "Sure." I don't know why, but like they do.
All of mine bar one have been a no, and the one that said yes, I then turned them down once I actually learned what they were actually like.
I'm on a 1-for-1 streak. I asked a company and they never replied, so I'm not rolling well,
You're
guys.
1 and 0.
It's not gonna
You're
work
a
for me.
miss.
Yep.
I guess then, how has your month been, Trinky?
It's been alright actually. It's always an odd month for me at work because my students start their exam season this month. So it's just been like a lot of revision and you can do it. Stop crying. You can do it.
Stop
Goodbye,
crying.
children who I've seen for 3 years. I'm never going to see you again now. Goodbye. Oh, thanks for the flowers. Oh, I have a story to do with this. So, it was my year 11's last day on last Friday. So it's like the last day of school. They all do the shirt sign-ins and like, you know, bring their teachers gifts and various other things. It's all very lovely. And I was in a meeting in the morning and I came back to my desk and I saw like one of those like wine bottle gift bags on the middle of my desk. And I was like, oh my god, who is this? I was like, for me? You kidding? So I walked on over to my desk all excited, thinking like, I've been brought wine or Prosecco or, you know, something nice. I peer over the top and I see 4 cans. And they were green, and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's 4 cans of gin, like that, you know, gin, like, you know, like canned cocktails or whatever. I was like, that sounds fine. Pulled one out. It's a Carlsberg, aka a lager, aka a beer. I now have a 4-pack of beers. I was very confused. So I sat looking at these 4 beers, and then I went, who the fuck has bought me beers? So then I was like, let me read the tag, and it will tell me who gave me the beers. And on the tag, it said, to Mrs., to you, from your boyfriend who left you on red with an emoji.
What?
Whoa!
Bro, I gotta kill him.
So at this point, I now have a 4-pack of beers and no fucking idea who it's from. And I was like, I genuinely don't know. What are these? There's 200 kids in this year. I don't know which one this has come from. And I was like, I don't even know how to find out. And then my form class walked in as I was making this discovery, and they were like, oh, what you got, miss? And then they looked at the beers, got confused, read the message, got confused, and everyone was like, the fuck? They were like, also, this message isn't English. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I was like, I don't understand. So that my poor little gremlins took it upon themselves to go and ask every kid in year 11 who got Miss Beer, because it's weird. And then they found the kid and like brought him over to him, and he was like, oh yeah, you got the beers. And I was like, yeah. I was like, do I give beer drinker to you, like popping a can of lager kind of vibes? He was like, oh no, you should have had wine, but I gave the last bottle to a different teacher, so you got beer instead. And I was like, okay. I was like, thanks. And I went, and what about the message? And he goes, oh, well, yeah, that guy left you on red, didn't he? With an emoji. I was like, it was a gift child. And he was like, oh, sorry. And he was like, well, you can share those beers with said boyfriend. And I just turned around and went, I don't have a boyfriend. And he went, oh, well, I'm sure you'll find someone to share them with one day.
Oh!
I just into the distance. And I was like, okay.
Oh my god.
Your kids are brutal.
Honestly, nothing humbles you quite like being a teacher.
I've got a very quick question. These were your year 11s, right?
Yeah.
How old are they? Because I'm fairly certain they should not be bringing alcohol in.
No, his grandparents bought them for him to give to everybody.
Okay, that makes a
Yeah,
little more
I
sense.
figured as
Yeah,
much.
he wasn't buying them.
Now, in
It's
all
pretty.
fairness,
It's a standard. I mean, yeah, we don't always get alcohol, but like it is. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes we do and stuff, and.
I mean, look, it's been an ice age.
Look, he was
since I've been in
responsible enough
school.
to give me the beers and not crack them himself. So you know.
yeah,
Kudos
that's,
to you,
that's
kid.
true.
My point is that I don't remember what I gave to teachers.
I don't
if
remember what
anything.
I gave. I don't even remember if I remember in 6th form I bought my teachers. We bought them personalised lab coats for my chemistry teachers.
Okay, that's cool.
But I don't remember what else. I mean, I got some jewelry. I got some key rings. I got a lot of cards. I read you guys my card that full of
Yeah.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
Well, I got another one. I haven't got it on me, but the first line of it says, "Ah, miss, to think the first time I met you, I absolutely hated you." So, I should really start with this
Hey.
card.
Hey, at least they were honest.
Yeah, I know. And so yeah, I got some cards, flowers, chocolates, candles. I got so much stuff this year. I was shocked. I was like, wow, you guys must think I'm cool.
Well, I just know that you're going to be retiring because it's untenable to be a teacher anymore, so they're just stocking you up.
I just in like last few years I've literally had like I had like 2 cards and maybe like a chocolate or like something that's like, you know, a little
Yeah.
something. I had so much stuff this year. I was like, holy, where's this all come from?
This is what, your 3rd year as a teacher?
Yeah, coming to the
Second
end
year?
of my 3rd.
Yeah, so
Technically my
that's
4th because of
probably
my training year, but yeah, 3rd.
that's probably why. Is that obviously in those first 2 years, it's like you didn't really have a chance to build a bond or
Yeah,
or
I've also
kids.
just known these kids for 3 years, so
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they have known you for longer. You may end up start seeing that again. Like you
oh
might
god,
end
when
up
my
like,
form group leave, I dread to think what they'll get me. They'll probably get me a blow-up
you-
boyfriend.
you're gonna get one. You're gonna get one before then.
then. I walk in the mornings, and there's like my desk is attached to a row of desks. Like the desks are butted up to my desk, so I've got like it's like being on an interview panel. I have 4 kids that are like lined up in front of my desk. I walk in the morning, they're all just sat there and like, so, who is it? What have you done? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, talk to us. What's the boy situation? And I would like to say that it's girls asking. No, it is boys. The boys in my form are so invested. They are like, who we dating? Who we talking to? What career have they got? What hobbies do they have? They want to know everything. They are like,
Well,
we're
yeah.
going to scout this guy out for you, miss. And I'm like, okay.
That what they're looking for is they're more looking for just dating tips on like what to and not to do to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, no, because it's so funny because they think they're so funny getting at me for my dating life, but they don't know that I know every girl that they're talking to because I've got spies in every pocket of school. So like they'll walk in and be questioning me about things, and I'm like, yeah, well, how's Layla? And they're like, how do you know about her? And I'm like, well.
The walls
And
have
then, like,
ears,
These walls-
child.
the
And then they
walls
like
have
start, and
ears.
then they start like arguing each other, like, who told Miss about blah 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, no one. I just know everything.
Yes.
And they're like, no, you don't. Bet you don't know about. And I'm like, oh, do I not know about this thing with this thing when you're hanging out with this person at the skate park on a Saturday night? And they're like, And I'm like, I know everything, children. You cannot escape me.
Big Brother is watching you.
Just
Honestly, it is.
Trinky
They are
sitting
so
on the center of
dumbfounded.
a spider web with all of the information traveling up
The
them.
information I have is actually crazy. Like, the CIA wish they could be me. I have the amount of stuff that I just have at my disposal at any moment. Kids naughty in class, I call them out. Had a kid being annoying in class the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, well, can you stop like snogging your girlfriend in the middle of the playground? And he goes, oh, who's my girlfriend? And I said her name, and he goes, oh. And I was like, yeah, and can you also stop nuzzling her like a bear, because it's freaking weird. And he was like, you can't tell me that. And I went, well, I just did. And the whole class are like, oh.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Yeah. I just don't have it. I don't
Yeah,
just store
no,
little pockets
no
of
public
information.
display of canoodling, child.
Well, I wouldn't even care if they were doing a good job at it, but like, rubbing noses on each other. Like, he rubs his nose into her neck, and that's all they do. And I'm like, I get it, but that's like a not in the middle of the playground kind of an activity. You know? Like, we're not like nose rubbing someone's neck. Also had a boy the other day turn it up with the most giant hickey on his neck, and I was like, who attacked you? And he was like, it's not that bad. I was like, dude, there's planets smaller than that hickey on your neck. Like, honestly, I ripped into him for it. And he was like, yeah, well, you don't know who did it. And then I just said the girl's name, and he was like, god damn it.
It's like, why do you kids question my network?
Literally, I was like, there is nothing that gets by me. Like, I know everything.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. It's great. I just go to school and bully like 100 kids a day. And that's it.
It's fine.
And
They
what can
bully
they
you
do? They
back.
can't bully me back.
No, they do. What are you
Well,
talking about? We just
What are you talking about?
we just had our instances of
Well,
the
yeah, but like,
cards.
if they actually like legitimately try to bully me, I just go ha ha and then send them out my lesson with the head teacher, and it's hilarious. I'm like, I can do it, you can't, child.
It's really hilarious when they try to bully me. I just send them to the execution chamber and go.
Well,
"Ha, ha."
I recently learned that there's a new term, right? So I obviously have just known I'm always awesome. And then, like, I properly ripped into this child in front of the class the other day because he was doing something really stupid. And then, like, a group of kids from the same class came up to me at break time and they were like, oh my god, miss, you're such a diva. And I was like, first of all, fuck off. That's rude. I was like, you can't be calling me a diva, that's rude. And they were like, no, it's a good thing. And I was like, no. Like,
It's-
diva is like you know,
Drama queen.
being dramatic and like whatever. And they were like, "Oh no, diva's a new word for queen these days." And I was like, "Okay, keep bigging me up then, children. Call me a diva all you want." And now
Yep,
every time they
words
see me in the
ta-
corridor,
words
they're
have
like, "This
taken
is such a
on-
diva."
Words
Yeah.
have taken on new meanings.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Words
Anyway,
are
I've
fun.
derailed this. You asked how my
No,
month was. Sorry.
no,
it
it's
was-
This is part of that.
I think that explained how your month's been.
This is how my month has been. Oh, and then I went to a wedding
Oh.
at the weekend. That was good. I ate loads of pizza.
Nice.
yeah.
That's a good food for a wedding.
Yeah,
It's a
because
really
like
good
we
food
were
for a
all
wedding.
drunk, and then they had a guy making on a fresh pizza oven, like a proper
Holy shit.
brick pizza
Oh.
oven.
Holy
Pizza.
shit.
Oh,
And I was drunk, and I was like,
stone baked.
"Give me!"
Oh,
I took a box
Oh,
home and ate it for breakfast the next
glorious.
day. So good. It was honestly, I think it was the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life. It was proper
How was-
glorious.
How was your lactose intolerance?
Hey, look, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the after show, alright?
No, it was actually right.
We-
Actually,
we don't-
No,
We don't talk about the aftermath of this. We don't
It's
talk
actually
about the
okay.
poor
I don't know.
choices.
I hadn't had any other dairy that day. I was fine.
That's fair.
Oh man.
In terms of sponsors, because I never gave an answer.
Oh no, you didn't, did you?
No. There have been a few over the years that I would have taken if they approached. One of which now I won't take because I don't agree with their products, because their products they completely changed everything from when I started using them. I moved away, and that was
You're gonna save your razor blades, aren't you?
yeah. I forget the company already.
Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah,
wasn't
Dollar Shave Club. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
it?
our
See, I knew that's
conversations
what you
about
were
it.
gonna say because I remember when they changed it and you ranted
Yeah.
to me about how they changed the blades.
Dude, it's not the blades. The blades I can live with. It was they're just removing the shaving butter and moving to a gel, which I have never.
Oh yes,
gotten
that's
on
what it was.
with.
PTSD if the runner's coming back.
I'm sorry.
Like honestly, he went at this for like 45 minutes one Sunday night. I like.
Got him mad.
Look, I am
mad
very
at it,
I
though.
am very passionate.
You
I,
were.
I think
You
the
were
more I
very
think the
upset
more I
about
think the more annoying thing is that they would not accept me putting in the reasonings why I wanted to leave. They just weren't taking that. That is what got me more. But no, it's Manscaped is one that I would take, and a company called Respiro.
Respiro.
What does that do?
Respiro. So they create breathing masks. And I found them during the pandemic, and they create like N95 not personalized, but they're like reusable masks, N95 grade, for breathable air.
Okay.
Like many different kinds, like the different sizes to fit different faces and everything like that, and they're high quality and fantastic. And yeah, if I could get a sponsorship, if I could go on a sponsorship with them, I 100% would have. Like even like now the pandemic is gone and everything like that, I would still recommend, like, yeah, if you're going on a holiday to a new place or anything like that. And look, anytime I have flown through any Florida airport, I have caught something.
Well, it's
When I
fun.
went there, when I went on business, but it wasn't the Floridians that I caught things from.
Florida.
I'm fairly certain it was from other. I think it was other tourists.
I'm fairly certain it's gonna be you caught Florida man's bug. Let's be honest here.
I got no idea. I don't think it wasn't COVID, but I caught something. And yeah, I'm like, I should have been more vigilant and been wearing my mask. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. But yeah, when I went for personal, when I went through, had to go through Florida. When I went there for business, I caught something. But yeah, that's the one I would take. And jokey one, just hashtag not joke. Bad Dragon.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No good way to
Okay,
segue
I'm
this.
gonna
Oh,
put
sorry.
I want to put a spin on your question. Obviously, I didn't hear everybody's answers, but if we had to get sponsored by a game company, what game company would you want to be affiliated with?
Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital. Hey!
100% fucking Devolver Digital, man.
Yeah.
But
Why?
They're awesome. So like on top,
Oh, really good.
on top of like being primarily a sponsor for indie games, they don't like, they are more than willing to put up for like experimental and crazy things, and they don't necessarily care about what their image is, because they intentionally go to like cons and things like that to do a demonstration, and they step out there and they're like, yes, watch as we turn this man into a meat puddle, and then I'll play a video of them like carving a room full of people with a chainsaw and go, buy our games, and leave. And I love that attitude.
I'm looking at the catalog for Devolver Digital, and they have so many games that are so different. Like Cult of the Lamb is on there, the Talos Principle,
Enter the Gungeon.
Angerfoot. Yeah, I'm fairly certain like one of the biggest ones are the Enter the Gungeon series.
They have Mother Russia Must Bleed. Devolver Digital also has this weird, like they had this era of games that they were sponsoring that all had this very anti-Russian theming, and I don't know what was up with that. It was just an era where they were just releasing game after game after game where the villains were clearly Russians and they were like doing underground psyop shit for some reason.
They've got a Serious Sam game. They've got Shadow Warrior under their list. They're so versatile from them, yeah. But for me, I would pick Shiny Shoe.
Shiny Shoe.
Yeah. Oh, you have a developer or publisher? Drinking.
But go for both. Because they're so different. It would
They
be
are.
hard to say one or the other.
I guess then as a
It's
secondary
like-
thing, Remedy.
If not Devolver, then Clay Entertainment.
Yeah, no, for me, definitely Shiny Shoe. Monster Train 1 and 2. Monster Train 2 just out. I want to play more of that game. It's amazing. And they've done Inkbound that we played a lot of.
Oh, that's them, huh? Okay.
Yep. Other than that, the people that made Across the Obelisk.
Oh, Paradox?
Published it now.
Paradox.
Yeah. The Paradox are the publishers now. It was the people that made it originally.
Oh, the developer.
The developer, yeah. Chances are also then mine are going to be NSFW ones.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, which is why I said, like, a joke, hashtag not a joke, bad
Yeah.
dragon.
I mean, I obviously have
I'm
one,
serious.
so like I can't really comment. But if I had to have a different one, I'd go Jagex.
What?
RuneScape World is my life. I'm joking. I've put so many fucking hours. I want to play the new one so
The dragon
fucking
one?
badly. You have no idea. But I cannot allow myself to play it because I know I will go off the fucking deep end and no one will hear from me again. Like, oh, I want to play
Well, in
it
that
so
case, stream it. Then
Exactly.
we'll still hear from you.
Exactly. You
bad.
have a
No, 'cause I
platform.
will have to do it in the summer when I can stay up until like 4 a.m. every day.
Well, there you go. You have summer plans now.
Honestly, like that game, world, and universe, it just hits different to me.
I'm curious, are you still playing RuneScape today?
I stopped just before I started streaming, and not because it was partly choice, partly because I think the universe is what I needed to get a fucking life. because we were all playing and then they did like an update overhaul thing and they lost a bunch of accounts for 3 months.
Oh my god.
As in,
Oh my god.
accounts deleted. My account was gone. I
Oh.
couldn't play the game for 3 months. And thankfully they recovered everyone's everything. Nothing was lost. If you did have anything lost, you could put in for it. And they gave everyone like, you know, things for being like so sorry that your accounts have been deleted and all this sort of stuff. And they put on like special events and stuff. But it broke the cycle for me. And I was then like, I can't start again.
I have to
So
go
haven't
cold
played.
turkey.
Yeah, I haven't played in like 4 years, but my brother still plays it. And every now and then he's playing on his tablet next to me, and I get like the itch. And I'm like,
It's like-
Scratch your neck a little
For
bit.
real
Like,
escape.
okay.
It's like fucking,
No,
a
it's like
fucking
actual
drug.
crack
It's like,
to
nah,
you.
nah, keep
I-
it away,
no,
keep me
I
away, keep it
can't-
away, bro,
Yeah,
keep
it
it
is.
away.
It's actually like a drug. It's so. I've got like. I started playing that
No,
game
no.
when I was 8 years old. Like,
No,
easily one of my first games. My brother went on holiday to Florida for 2 weeks, and he left me his RuneScape account and asked me to cut yew trees for 2 weeks to earn him money, whilst he was on holiday, and I did, and that just started it all.
That's
I mean,
No, no,
ultimate
but
sister
to
as
be
well.
honest-
8-year-old sister spent her 2 weeks of her summer indoors cutting yew trees down for her brother. She was like,
Fucking-
must make rich. Like, she was like, rabbit hole.
look, I mean, I totally get it. Like, I mean, I was addicted to WoW for a while. Yeah, I mean, there's an
Final
argument I was.
Fantasy now, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I have a problem with MMOs. I get it. I know. Why do you think
And
it
then
took
just
me
this new
10
one, I'm
years
just
to
gonna
play Final
I'll wait for
Fantasy
it to come out.
14?
I might wait for it to be out for a little bit more before I play it anyway, because it's still like really early access. So,
Amateurs. Amateurs.
I'll let that one die down for. I'll let it bug itself out for a little bit.
One.
Because like,
Oh, yeah,
God bless,
title.
love Power World, but God, the bugs when that first came out were shit.
One title. It's not even an MMO. Alan Wake. That's it.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, because once you start talking about Alan Wake, you don't shut up.
You
Well,
don't.
okay,
It's Mox's own personal ARG. They made it for him.
You don't know how.
I've
how
heard
true
Mox
that
rant
feels.
about Alan Wake music specifically for like a good 30 minutes before.
You don't know.
Not even the game, the
well, there's,
music.
there's
Chalk
messaging within that.
Bought me cork boards and red string for a game we are going to be playing. I'm going to be using that when I eventually sit down and go, I'm going to talk about the Remedyverse, and we are going to discuss the intricacies of why the Norse gods are very integral to this random beat cop from New York, and then this writer from New York.
And I want you to understand, I
This
bought
one
him
is-
2 because I didn't think 1 could contain it all.
I don't even think 2 can contain it all.
You know what?
Probably
They-
not.
I mean,
We're out of
we've
wall
got to
space.
bring in Quantum Break as well.
I don't want to do. Quantum Break has been redone entirely. The sheriff guy in goddamn 2 is the main character from Quantum Break, and he gets Quantum Broken in the game to reset things because the guy who was the bad guy from Quantum Break, who was Lance Reddick, couldn't be the bad guy anymore because Lance Reddick fucking died. So they got a new guy in there who is also running
Look
a
what you've
goddamn
done.
show,
Yeah, why
a
did you
talk
do that?
show that is recycling Alan so that he can do things.
Right,
They
how
do
is
a
that for you, okay?
fucking musical, guys! They do a goddamn musical with dancing and things for a goddamn song called Herald of the Dark! Because of the fact that he is both the
Francis,
hero
you can laugh
and
at
the
it, but you
villain
did
of his
this.
own story in a loop! And that
I
is
really
why I
need
can't
to
do
redraw
stuff.
Mox as Pepe Sylvia.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know how well everyone's Big Bang Theory knowledge is, but there's an episode of Big Bang where Penny wants to learn about physics, and Sheldon like sits her down with like a whiteboard and a notebook and like stares at her and makes sure she's taking notes, and he's like, it was so cold night in Greece, and like starts on this story of the history of physics, and that is Mox in my head right now.
You don't
I have a personal
understand
vendetta
how
against that
fucking
show.
it goes.
You have a personal vendetta against Big Bang Theory.
I do.
I do actually know about
Please
this.
tell me why.
Because people at every job I have ever worked do nothing but compare me to Sheldon, and I hate it.
Alright, that's fair. Okay, I can understand the hate.
I do that to
so
my brother.
mean.
No, my brother is Sheldon.
It's because one of my names is very close. So they're like, oh,
Oh,
you're
it
like
is, isn't it?
Sheldon. It's like, fuck
Oh, it is,
off.
isn't it? Oh, you need to, okay, so
Guys,
you need to take
Okay,
the gun to
that's
work.
even worse.
No, because my brother actually is Sheldon. Like he's like I can't tell you. Like if you met my brother, you'd just be like, "Holy, you actually are him," and I would say yes, he is.
Wait for a quick second, because while I can't have the fan running, I have to at least open the door. I need airflow. I need airflow.
My dad also always calls me Penny because there's an episode of Big Bang Theory where Penny learns how to play video games, and she's addicted to like this game, and she has like Cheetos in her hair and stuff because she's gone down this rabbit hole playing
Aw.
video games. And my dad is like, "You're fucking Penny," and I'm like, first of all, I've never had Cheetos get stuck in my hair. Second of all, I do look a state. Yes, thank you very much for pointing it out.
Oh, your dad's awesome.
Oh, Calvin, dad
Your dad is very
he's
funny.
a menace.
Speaking of menace,
Actually,
I
Yes,
Possibly
this is a-
funny.
I did a thing.
Oh, no.
I'm doing this now. I'm doing
Okay.
this now. This is my
Oh,
funny
boy.
thing. Okay.
Oh boy.
So the hotness that's in discussion right now, that's probably already dead by the time I'm talking about this, is 100 men versus one silverback gorilla,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh god.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I'm not now. I'm not
Oh.
asking the question because that is a whole thing, and I know we'd have funny answers. I answered the question.
Oh, okay.
I spent the better part of I spent the better part of a time that I should have spent paying attention to what I was doing. I was cooking hamburgers at the time I was doing this, and I burnt them slightly because I was very focused on this. Where
You
I
added flavor.
I was in the room. That's okay. That explains so much.
yeah,
Because I was like staring at the thing, going, he hasn't had this on that side for a long time.
I was really distracted. All right, because I was running basically
Simulations in his
some
brain.
simulations through my phone of the Thurs Gang members of what would happen if 100 versions of you fought a silverback gorilla, and I have results. I have
Fuck, are you
stats.
joking?
Oh,
I have stats.
Taller
Oh,
than
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Dude.
I'm gonna start sharing these. You can look at them while I'm sharing them, but once they're posted, I'm gonna start talking about them from the order that I share them in. So give me a
frog
second.
zone.
I'm gonna put them in
As in,
front zone.
you used an actual piece of software to run these, or this is Mox's.
This is a thing I found online that ran it through. It's not like
Okay.
official, so don't take these stats like official.
Oh wait, well I am, but okay.
Okay, so there's going to be two people that are going to be a little funky on this one, and that's going to be Lotus and Silas. But I'm going to send the first batch, and then I'm going to send the next batch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah, this is wrong. I would win.
so I said don't say
Defeat. I'm shocked.
nothing. So
This is incorrect. I would win.
Mox, yeah, no offense, you do not fucking win.
I-
Neither does Karonzi. Are you joking?
I'm not upset that I lost. I'm upset that the reason it gave why.
no, the
I
reasons
lost.
are
The
stupid.
fuck?
The reasons are stupid. So for those who can't
That's
see
my
what I'm
reason.
talking about, we're into the simulation thing. According to the simulator, the people who could overcome the one silverback gorilla with 100 versions of you are myself, Karanzi, and Lotus. And the people who would unfortunately get destroyed by the silverback gorilla would be Snoo, Trinky, Chalk, and Silaps. Out of these, Silaps makes the most sense. I think Silaps would do it as a gag, you know? See how many
Yeah.
ways the silverback
What
gorilla could get
picture
him.
of me have you used? Where did you get that from?
That one I found over here from your Twitch thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
those are our Twitch profile pictures, I think.
It's not my Twitch profile picture, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's on my Instagram. It's. I think I might have sent that to you, Snoo, at some point when you asked for a picture of my face.
Um,
That project is still in the works.
what really gets me, right, is I was sitting here going like, man, man, what's gonna happen when I throw Snoo out there and they're gonna get defeated by 100 silverback gorilla, or no, one silverback gorilla is gonna defeat 100 Snoos. I knew you were going to be angry as soon as it said defeat. I was like, oh, Snoo's gonna be so pissed.
I would win. I would win. I would.
I
'Cause here's-
think you're the one
here's
out
the
of all of us that could go feral enough to do it. I just don't
Well,
think
no.
you would.
No. Here's the thing. You don't approach this with violence. Gorillas are not inherently aggressive, is the thing. Don't make fucking eye contact with them. That's typically, in the animal kingdom, making eye contact is a sign of, I want to fucking fight. Silverback gorillas are surprisingly peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hate to break it to you, but you ain't daddy enough to make this gorilla submit.
Listen. Whenever I show up to England on a random day, I will find you.
And they're gonna do the
And I will
simulation
fuck
of
you.
of them versus you, and you're gonna
Daddy me up.
and you're gonna be the silverback gorilla. Oh man. Oh yeah.
No,
Shut up to
what's
England,
gonna happen
okay?
is the Snoo's gonna randomly turn up, find Trinky, and dad joke them into submission.
So what's probably gonna actually happen is Snoo's gonna find Trinky
I'm gonna-
somehow, and they're gonna
I'm
run
gonna
up
find-
to him. They're gonna try and get them. They're gonna trip, fall. Spaghetti's gonna fly out of their pocket, and they're gonna cry. And Trinky's gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this?"
And I'll just be
Maybe
on the
with,
floor
like 1 inch height difference, like looking down at me, like I got this bitch.
Just be writhing on the floor like a worm.
A worm.
Like a worm.
Man, I spent so long on that, and that didn't even last like 10 minutes.
the
Dude, I
effort
feel like
did
that's
not
the story of your
come
life.
off this.
I appreciate it for everything that it's worth. I knew I would lose.
I think the most hilarious thing out of looking over it, all three of us that won the same way with elaborate rope traps.
And everyone that lost
You want the
also
same
lost.
You
the
would,
same way.
mister.
No, Sylaps did.
Silas lost
No.
differently. Silas 42
Yeah.
slipped on a banana peel and took out half his own team in a domino effect, which is a very Silas thing.
That is.
Yeah.
Of course, Crunchy would have been something that involves ropes.
Look.
He's got a lot of them.
My skills from my N64 days are paying off.
Okay, I understand where you're going with this. I understand. We literally talked about this.
On stream
on
on
Final
Monday.
Fantasy, yeah.
I think I've still got the meme I can share.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I just got to double check just to make sure it's safe. I'm sure it's safe enough.
I'm sure it's spoiler, and if it's not, it's Frog Zone. That's kind of what the place is. It's where the trash is.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah,
pretty
no,
sure
it's
everyone in
perfectly
this
safe.
server is an adult, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Are
perfectly
you
safe.
sure?
It's good.
I'm not
it's
sure
fine.
about Silaps.
Oh, I have seen this one before.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Oh,
about
yeah.
Scilab? Yeah, you
Well-
might not be.
We'll ask their handler Lotus if the Silaps is grown up or not.
But
It's probably the other way around.
That's it. And I can confirm I done all 4 versions of that with the 64 controllers on 4 individual controllers because I had that many.
Bronzy? I'm not gonna look at my Mario Kart controller the same again.
You're gonna hold up that controller and go, hold on, do you consent to this?
Yes. Poor controller.
Hey, maybe the controller's into it, you don't know.
I guarantee it is.
You gotta practice somewhere.
I hear the police sirens
Sure.
in the distance.
I know.
Sorry, I'm not there.
Speaking
You
of
got the wrong
police
house.
sirens, I'm gonna throw my own police siren out here, and I want to spend some time discussing a thing that we did last time that I don't think Trinky and Snoo are gonna be able to participate in at this moment.
That's fine. It's the recommendation stuff.
It is the recommendation stuff.
That's fine.
So one of the things I think I mentioned it to you, Trinky, that I really wanted to do with this because I thought it was a really cool idea, was being able to share like things to have the others experience, because I think that's a fun thing to do with friends. And where the idea initially comes from is a place of very much hostility. I don't want this to be a hostile experience. So we gave some recommendations, and oh man, we're gonna go into them, but I just want to describe one of them as I did not expect boot smell to be so fucking important. Did not. That was not on the fucking bingo card. You know what's the worst? I think they're my favorite character.
Do you know? Yeah, I could totally see them being your favorite character. I haven't got to that point.
Oh my
Where
god.
did you continue reading or did you stop?
I got to the point and then I was like, I have a fucking novel I have to read. And speaking of which, I want to tell you, I read that novel last night and the night before. Half of it and then the other half.
Holy.
Motherfucker with his yo-yo.
Motherfucker with his... I had to Google that. I was like, what the fuck are these weapons? What is he talking about? What are these discs? They're yo-yos!
Yeah. He was using yo-yos.
I had to then go and like, is that actually, like, I know people said that yo-yos were originally weapons, and it's just like, no, it's actually not a real thing. Yo-yos were not weapons. It was a lie fabricated by a Filipino man. It's really a good lie, but it was a lie.
Yeah, but yeah, he was using that and the crossbow.
Yeah, the explosive, non-explosive
oil of
little mini
impact.
bolts.
Yeah, with his
The oil. Yeah.
the oil, whatever.
Fucking, he's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So, where do we want to start of the three things? We could get mine out of the way, which is definitely probably the most lackluster compared to him.
To be honest, like it was an interesting concept, a very choose your own. It's kind of like I said, I think you described it as like a kind of a choose your own adventure, but also like more interactive on that level. And what I actually played of it, I'm like, this is actually really good. I'm liking this. I want to play this more, but I just can't read this right now.
Can you disconnect my hard drive?
I enjoyed like the first hour, and then it got very repetitive after that, and I was like, I am no longer enjoying this.
I mean, I didn't get to that point, but I can very much see that, yes, that is pretty much where it was gonna be heading with it, but I didn't have enough time to get to that point for it.
Why the hell is my window for this? It's not. Here we go. Sorry, Smooth is having me. Why is it every time I try to do this that the option for safe disconnect never appears? Where'd they go?
Was it?
I got your thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the thing that I recommended was a thing called A Dark Place. All right. Would you two like to explain kind of how that went? Like, you talked about it, but you didn't say like what it was per se.
Yeah, because you start in, well, a dark room, like, you know, the title of the game, and you just build a fire initially, and that's it for a bit.
Then things start.
Then
happening.
then I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's different every time, but I had a woman just roll up shivering.
Mhm.
And then eventually, as you light the fire more, it suddenly you then start getting a resource that says you have so much wood. You then got to go and cut the wood.
And the more and more you interact, the more people start appearing. Like this fire is like a beacon, like it's guiding them to where you are. And you start to build buildings, and you start to go from somebody who was just sitting in a dark room to someone who's building like a little town, you know, thriving a little. And eventually it gets to the point where you have enough resources and enough people that you can that you no longer have to be contained to staying in this dark room. You can actually see the world around you and expand outwards and find more things and find that there's actually dark things out in the world. There are monsters and things, and you need to go and find the resources in order to get yourself equipped so you can go out further and see what's all out there. It's quite the interactive experience and very interesting, but I do agree with Chalk that there comes a point where it becomes monotonous, and you definitely, I feel like the whole experience loses itself once the world opens up.
When I lost my
Yeah.
second iron short sword, I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. I don't want to sit here and wait for enough leather to build back up to do that again.
So, this is one of the few things I had already played before the recommendation was made, because it was a thing Mock showed me a while ago.
Mhm.
I made the game harder for myself at the start for no reason. I didn't go into the forest for like hours.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because
get that.
I came into this, I got into my own head, and I was just like, this is a horror.
It definitely presents itself as a horror initially. Where it's
Yeah.
like, this lady's gonna kill me.
I was getting vibes of A Quiet Place.
And it's all through text, to be clear. This is technically a text
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked the atmosphere that it builds with it there, that mystery that it has going on. And the fact that, you know, you can have something like what Snoo had, where they didn't go into the forest because they were afraid of what could happen, and they're kind of like what would be like if you were actually in the situation. Mind you, I knew it was a game, and I knew that if it was going to end in a way, oh, there was nothing I could do about it. I had to do things. But at the same time, you could feel it. You could feel the vibes. The only sounds that they really have are the sounds of the fire crackling, the light, just the night air. It is an experience, and I was happy to be able to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to give it a go, give it some more, try and have it open up more, because yeah, I didn't get a chance to fully enjoy that aspect.
Hey guys, did you know that
Yeah.
this funny little manga that Chalk had us read is getting a fucking show that got announced like 2 months ago?
Yes,
Yes.
it is. That was like that I noticed when I was doing some research and looking up, and it's like, yeah, it's next month, not next month, month after, July
Speaking of
is
some,
the premiere.
speaking of some research things, the author who is responsible for this doesn't have a lot of things under their belt as standalone things. But you want to know what they did work on? They worked on fucking Fire Force. They worked.
You know, I was,
Yes, they did.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, the art style, or there is a lot of, I saw a lot.
They
I haven't
lot
seen
work.
much of Fire Force. I see
Soul Eater.
similarities in it.
Soul Eater, Fire Force, they worked on that. Reason being is they worked directly underneath the author of those. And you want to know
Yeah.
what's even crazier? The author has basically said, "This is my successor." And Gachi Kuta is the next thing. It is the successor project of the new generation from Soul Eater and fucking Fire Force. And you feel it.
You do.
Oh yeah,
Like the way that
I
the characters are
I
drawn,
can feel the souls.
their eyes,
Yeah.
like the expressions, especially the smiles for the crazy.
some of the stuff there there was a lot of the things that like I was not expecting this. What the hell?
Smell.
The boot smell.
Food smell.
Okay, let's take this back a second and probably explain, because I know that there's at least one person here who has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is that person me?
Yes, that person is you.
Yeah, that person is me.
Okay, so I could explain this. Does someone else want to take the reins?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So this is a story about a kid who lived in a relatively nice society with some more wealthy individuals, and their main thing was that they like to collect old broken things, like trash and what have you, and restore it, repair it. They would find old dolls that had been tossed aside because they were slightly frayed or so, and they would restore it, and then they would go and like give it to people, and they would just all around pretty cool restoration stuff. Though they were constantly digging in the trash, of course, but that's whatever. They've got a girl that they're kind of sweet on. They've got a father figure who's hanging out with them. Is just like, oh, you know, you should probably be thinking about other things. And he's like, no, I like this trash stuff. And then he comes home one day and finds his dad's been killed. Fucking murdered. And he gets blamed for it. And they string him up and hold him over a pit where all of the trash of the city gets dumped off of basically this cliff. And he gets cast down from basically the heavens and winds up at the bottom where the world is just all of the trash that has been spread out. It is just full of garbage. And there are monsters down there that are made out of the garbage. And the air is so fucking toxic from all of it that if you don't have a respirator, you will fucking die. Right? It's that caustic.
It just rots your lungs out.
Just rots your lungs out. And the people down here are just as nasty. As one of his first interactions with a group of people after meeting someone who will be important to the story is they knock him the fuck out because he's a topsider, and they plan on selling parts of him to people because he's from the top side. But it's not all doom and gloom. They have a sort of superpower. They can connect to trash. They can connect to specifically heirlooms, if you could wanted to call it that. And with that sort of latent feeling, as they say at the beginning of it, all objects have a soul, and the more love and care you put into it will basically nurture the soul that's inside of it. He can communicate with that spirit of these objects, and he can turn these things into fucking weapons. And he's not the only one. There are a bunch of people in there that have a certain name that I'm suddenly forgetting.
Cleaners.
No, not the cleaners. It's the
Givers.
Givers. Yes,
Givers.
thank you. Givers. So givers are the people who have the ability to connect with it. But the thing is, most givers commune with a single item, and that is their cherished thing, and that's their baby. And they get crazy, interesting powers. Like, one person has a stick that turns into a cool sort of crescent scythe thing. One person has a pair of scissors that turn into big fucking scissors. And then, like, the main leader guy has his umbrella that he fucking surfs around in by sitting in, but he can also shred things with that umbrella. Right? And the enemies of this sort of also have their connections to things, like the fucking Assassin Clawman and his... I love poison! I fucking love poison so much! I test it all on myself, and I keep them in my claws! Oh, man! Now I can't feel any pain! Oh, isn't this
And
such a
just
wonderful thing?
deliberately knocks himself out.
Yeah, so his body can go into a berserk state because he poisoned himself. Or the aforementioned boot smell! What is my fucking item? It is the fucking boots that my... How do I put this politely?
There's no
Oh
polite way
my
to
god,
put
there
it.
is no polite to put
My
that, no.
my fucking slave owner wore these boots, and they still have his smell in them, and I fucking smell them occasionally to be reminded of the happier times where I was abused and thought this was
Excuse me.
love. Oh, yeah, you said you had to leave at some point. for like a 5-minute thing. But now that I have this, and they have the love and care that I had from this affiliated with them, if you smell the boot smell, you imagine that I am the person that you care about the most and will do everything to protect me. I shit you not, that panel, once I saw it, I screamed out loud, "No! No, we are not doing this!"
Oh, we are so doing this.
Like this, like the panel that the power
What are we
gets
doing?
revealed. I'm explaining boots, but like the panel this thing gets revealed in is literally she like sticks, like she's got these big oversized boots. She sticks her leg back a little bit, and the front of it flaps open, and this giant scent thing wafts out of it, and you're like, no, 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 no. Might be my favorite character, unfortunately.
My favorite character I think is the receptionist.
The
She's
receptionist is cool.
She's awesome.
She really is.
And if I remember correctly, Chalks is the Scissor Girl.
Yes, I like Rio.
Rio's cool.
Rio.
Now,
She's just a straight up assassin.
That's my favorite fucking bit. In this
I'm
world full of crazy anime weapons and powers, the most deadly thing is a 9mm pistol.
I'm surprised. I'm like, how did they find them? When like, you just see the gun and there's just the flashback. And like, oh, that's where that came from. Oh shit!
Just bodies people instantly.
it's just a gun.
He's like, he's like, I'm not. I've been told I'm not allowed to kill people. I'm not allowed to use this.
But no
I don't
one
see
can
it.
hear.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's here to tell me off.
To be clear, we had
Oh.
certain restraint things on some of this because this is a very long thing. It's like, hey Chalk, where would you want us to stop ideally? And he's like, well, I'd say around chapter 60 is where I'd like you to stop. You want to know where chapter 60 actually does end for the two who didn't read this. It does in fact end with that poison man jumping around happily in victory, and then he gets shot in the fucking leg, and then you just see a smoking gun, and that's how that chapter ends. And Chuck's like, man, when you read this chapter, you're like, oh yeah, that's such a me thing. And I was like, the gun? What? I was confused because that's just where it ends. I was trying to figure out what deeper meaning you had for this.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was so enthralled, I did carry on further.
Oh yeah,
I
of
think
course.
I'm at like 8. I'm like at 80.
I
or
went
something
on.
like that.
I went on to a point where a reveal happens, and I don't know if I want to say this, but you know what? I'm gonna just put this up here with a quick spoiler. Amo comes back.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I done some outside research and saw that, but yeah, like I haven't reached that point yet.
That's the boot smell
I'm at
girl.
I'm 82.
The reason why this is a shock and surprise is because Amo, the boot smell girl, is a villain who gets her shit rocked hard. Actually, she kind of makes a heel turn and becomes a good guy at the end of it, and they're gonna be friends with the protagonist. And the protagonist and their friends leave, and then the bad guys show up, and it's implied from the things that happen with her screaming that they may have killed her,
Yeah.
but they didn't. Turns out she's fine. And she still has her boots.
I am gonna have to step away, so
No, you're just gonna step away when we're about to get to the part of yours.
yeah, I know. That's the really annoying thing, which is why I'm like, yeah, could you just wait
Hold
until I
off.
get back before we actually
Yeah,
start
well,
that?
wait
Sure,
until
we
you get back.
sure we can hold off on that. We can hold off on that. We can still talk about Gachikuta. There's still a lot to talk about.
There's a fair amount.
There's a fair amount. Yeah,
You-
I really go on.
What?
Go on, Chalk. You go. You were
I was
say
gonna
something.
ask if either of you have gotten to the information broker yet.
No. Like I said, I'm
maybe
at 82. They're literally on their way back after
Okay.
everything that went down with the flying trash beast.
when you get to him, that was the moment that I sat there and truly understood, oh, this is just Soul Eater and Fire Force, isn't it? This is the character. Oh, fuck.
I will be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm trying to set something up.
Okay.
Okay. There is also a direct reference to Excalibur. He shows up.
He fucking shows up? What?
He fucking that is not a joke.
Wild. That's absolutely wild.
Yeah, that's what was I going to say again? I can't remember now. I hate myself.
Neither of us wanted to, like, yeah.
No, that was it. The whole concept of items having a soul is very interesting to me.
It's very Japanese.
Yeah. Just everything. You giving your love and support to everything, and it nurtures what's there, and you build that connection in your repertoire with your chosen item. It's very much I very much see it on the level that the Zanpakuto have in Bleach.
Yeah.
Stu
I
is
see
back.
that a little bit.
Hello.
Hello. welcome.
Hello.
But I got to work.
Hey!
Hey.
How'd you do it?
Hey.
So you have to turn on the virtual camera in VC face, and then you can set a background image, or you can just leave it transparent. I found a copyright-free picture of a sunflower field.
I see. Hold on then.
and
Let me
then-
see if I can figure this out real quick, because I'm gonna have to do something.
So you have to enable it, and then you hit install virtual camera, which will open your the command window thing. I forgot what it's called suddenly. Give it permission to do its thing, and then you may have to leave the call and come back, but you should. I would test to make, and you have to set your camera
what?
to VC face in Discord. It's
No.
something that would be better to do not on stream.
Yeah, I think I'll do that later. I'm gonna have to
I was able to do it because I'm not streaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-enable my face now. Not that I'm complaining, of course. I am on the BRB, so nothing's over here seen, and you guys weren't seeing my thing from the camera, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Yep. Good time for the BRB thing.
Yeah.
So I shared a photo. I'm gonna share another one in Frog Zone. I think I got it. I don't remember if I actually downloaded this one or not. Let me see here. While I'm waiting for things to open up. Advantage of having a phone. Fucking open the thing. I did grab it. Okay, cool. I shared 2 pictures of this funny girl that. Oh, here's Lotus. Oh no, here's Lotus. I can't.
Here's
wait for-
Lotus.
I can't wait for Lotus.
What's Lotus have to say?
I can't wait for Lotus to like. All the same. The feed stats are all the same.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
with gorillas.
That's true. Looking at the gorilla.
it's true.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I should be able to get this back, and then everything should be.
I'm sorry. Are those laces like in her leg?
Yes, those laces are
Yes.
in her leg. That's actually a very popular piercing thing in Japan, apparently.
Yeah, it weirds me the fuck out,
I
and
have
people
never
also get them
heard of
up their
those.
back.
I've seen the
And they
back
get-
ones a lot.
The
I've-
back ones are really common, and they I have a visceral reaction to them. They make me so upset.
I've seen the back one. I thought it was like a stupid edit. You telling me that
No.
shit's real?
No, that's
Yeah, yeah,
real.
That's real.
That's real. People
Oh
are
my
actually doing
god! I need to ask Sky
Yeah.
about this.
it. But people also do those on their legs, on the front of their legs and their shins, and they swing on them, and they redo the piercings like every day, and it's like a circus shit thing.
That I hate that. I genuinely
I
hate and despise
know
this.
it is horrific.
I shared the panel that made me scream no, and then I shared one of the actual girls, so you can see her in colored in a better light, and you will notice her eyes.
She do got goat eyes.
Got good eyes.
She do got goat eyes.
Media?
A little. I won't lie. However, like her entire thing as a character, and is why I kind of had to go. Fuck, I actually think she's really cool. Is she's just wants to be loved. That's her whole character.
Oh, thank
You
you.
really like characters like that.
I really do. And her story is so fucking sad because her mom sold her into slavery when she was a child to a guy who did pretty much every bad thing you could think of to her and told her it was because it was out of love. And the feelings that she was feeling inside, this weird feeling where she wasn't quite sure how she felt about what was happening to her, this maybe sadness and whatever, was convinced that negative emotions from being abused was love. And that's
So-
so sad.
So a funny thing about abuse, psychologically speaking, typically it does come from a place of love. It's just executed fucking horrifically.
And this guy just treated her horribly. She was never allowed to leave the place that she was set up, which was like this like smokestack in the middle of the desert, basically. Nothing around, and he would go out and get supplies, and she was to stay there and just never leave. This was her only everything. It was her whole fucking world, right? And then these dudes just show up who happen to be affiliated with the villains, and they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you getting forced upon, but I'm here for a particular reason. Also, you see these shoes here that this guy has? I think they better fit for you." And it's like her getting these shoes, something about her getting these things, like the sole of these boots spoke to her. And she realized that this is something that she actually wants, that this belongs to her. And the guy fucking attacks her for these things because it's how he defended himself, was these particular boots. And he almost kills her. And the feeling she has from this, which is no different than how he treated her before, changes. Just because she doesn't feel the same way. This isn't the love she knew anymore. And he ends up getting knocked out of the top of the smokestack and falls to his death and splats. And you see the splat. And that's where she remains until the people show up, where she's been sitting in this tower, and anybody who wanders over there, she tries to have conversations with them and genuinely form a friendship or a connection or a bond with them. But as soon as it turns sour, even a little, she has this visceral freak out because this is wrong, this isn't how it's supposed to be, and then she kills them. And that's been her cycle. And so when the protagonists show up over here and she gets a couple of them to join her, she just wants to have a conversation about feelings and shit. And no one's humoring her on it. And they end up fighting her on it. And I'm not going to blame them for fighting her. She was literally taking over people's minds and, going to kill them. But at the same time, it's like, girl, you just need a friend, man. And everything was going to be so happy, and then they come back and they almost kill her, and then you don't know if she's dead or not. It's like, no, she was gonna get the help, you fuckers. And now she's part of the heroes, and I'm happy for her. But like that, you could see why I like this character.
Yeah.
When I've wanted to recommend this to you for a while. In fact, I've told you about this for a while, and you never picked it up, because I knew you would like her.
Mm-hmm. Ronzi's back. We could talk about the other thing. I can stop stalling for time.
We can talk about Ronzi's thing now.
Hello, Ronzi.
Ronzi,
Hello.
would you like to share with the class what you shared with us?
So, I inadvertently shared the entire series, but I mean, to be honest, I personally think the entire series is great. And I will not deny part of it was because I know that Mox doesn't like their other works. I'm just trying to introduce, like, he does do other stuff. But yeah, it's a series by R.A. Salvatore called The Cleric's Quintet, and I think it's probably some of his best writing in character development and story and telling a story, as it were. He essentially was introducing new characters to his main series, and he gave them their own series of books to introduce them, to flesh them out, to give them characters, so they don't just appear in. They don't just appear and you've got no reference to what their motivations are, who they are, and everything like that. And yeah, the Cleric Quint, it's called the Cleric's Quintet, and the first book is called Canticle. And it's a story about a priest and essentially his traveling companions. And the priest is Cadley Bonadus, if I remember the name correctly.
I think they said his last name like once.
Yeah.
Because he just referred to it as Catterley or the priest.
Yeah, he's then just referred to as Cadley or the priest in the series, but it's Cadley Bonadus, I believe, was his name.
I will politely say I would like to share my thoughts last.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
I think I overall did enjoy the book. I wouldn't say any character, save for one of the dwarf brothers, really spoke to me.
I know exactly which dwarf brother.
Yeah, I think both you and Mox can figure out which dwarf brother I liked. It's a neat concept of putting, chaos nonsense in a ever-smoking bottle to distribute it. I think that was neat.
Yeah.
I think the yo-yo is stupid, though.
The yo-yo is...
So, yeah, like the entire thing, it is a saga. It's like there are so many moving parts. It's an introduction to the characters.
Yeah.
It's building up on them and then expanding upon that. But bearing in mind, like, the time this was written, I'm fairly certain this was like late 80s.
I think it was like 90,
maybe early 90s.
91. I believe
91. Yeah. Yeah. So we're looking at an era of D&D when you're looking at D&D 2nd edition and early D&D, like the early concepts of D&D 3rd edition, I believe. So the characters are designed to be very much larger than life, are very much the epic thing, and this is where it's from an era where these stories that are told here are what drive the settings forward, as opposed to how Wizards have changed things and wanted it to be more player driven choices. If you look at like 4th edition. And then they quickly shifted away from that because they fired all of their writers and then got them all back in.
Please, someone look at 4th edition. No one else is.
Well, no, that was the entire. There's a series of books called The Sundering, which is basically the final hurrah of 6 authors, including Ed Greenwood, the father and the creator of the Forgotten Realms.
Oh.
And they basically fired him. Like, he couldn't write any more Elminster books or any more of the books in the Forgotten Realms because essentially Wizards of the Coast were like, no, we want the players to do this. Your characters are no longer driving the story. When they realized that this wasn't working, they had to get them all back because their numbers were tanking, because most of the sales were from their licensed books.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of dynamics, a lot of meddling of gods. The characters are definitely more in tune with the deities, and the deities play a larger role in that. Like, the interesting thing, I'm not sure how much of it is coming out. I can't remember exactly where it is, but I'm fairly certain it's starting to be evident that obviously Candle, he's not the most devout priest of Denir.
No, he like skips his like the hymns and all the things and
Skips his
whatnot.
hymns.
Goes and plays
Yeah.
with his fucking yo-yo and hangs out with his girlfriend or feeds sandwiches to his squirrel.
He flat out
Yeah.
says he's not the most devout follower.
Yeah,
Just kind of here.
yeah, because at the end of the day, he's like, no, our worship of Denir should not be through prayer; it should be through the pursuit of knowledge.
Which makes sense. It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as who's the other the sister the brother priest of the library was Ogre.
Yeah, he the guy who has the thing happen to him. Right?
Well, no. I'm meaning the actual like the actual god that they follow is like is essentially he's another god of knowledge.
You're correct.
But he is but basically like their entire thing is sumo wrestling. Pretty much. Because all of those priests end up challenging Danica, who's a monk, who's there looking for forbidden tomes from her master.
Oh man.
Or from her master's master.
And she bollywops the fuck out of these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, all the time. There are some very like I mean these are going then into the main series, but there's a lot of stuff that she ends up doing in the main series when she's featured that is just incredible. There's highlights.
Through that stone.
You put the head through the stone thing, yeah.
Ironhead.
And basically, there was one point is like they're falling into. They're falling down a large pit, down into a very large cavern, and landing. What she ends up doing is she then it is then described that she just this is like I said, I don't think this is in any of these books, it's in later series, but she's just literally just starts bouncing around to absorb the momentum that is gained from this drop and to lessen the damage that she would take. Just ends up just jumps from side to side, somersaulting around to eat that momentum.
All right, my thoughts time, I think. All right, so you are correct in that I don't like R.A. Salvador, and I don't enjoy R.A. Salvador because of Dritz Duorden.
Yep.
And it has admittingly mostly come from a negative view that comes from other people I used to play D&D with. People who play D&D in such a way that makes absolutely fucking no goddamn sense. And they played it in such a way that if you did anything that detracted from it initially, they would freak the fuck out, and I got so fucking tired of them. I got tired of them and their Duergar obsession, half godhood obsession, and I got so fucking tired of it that I genuinely do not like Dritz and R.A. Salvador because of this person. So it was a struggle to get myself to read the book, honestly. I found multiple ways for me to read the book, admittedly, and the way that I ultimately did it was on what am I forgetting what it's called? It's like the Internet Archive. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The whole book is on there. The classic one, in fact, with the cover and backing.
Yeah.
And you basically borrow it like you're borrowing a book from a library, which I thought was a very neat experience. But I had it available since since we ended the last podcast. I did not start reading it again until 2 days ago. Because I couldn't fucking bring myself to. I tried to listen to the audiobook and it did not work for me. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I actively did not want to read it. Nothing against you, of course, or the recommendation. But I actively did not want to read it because it was an R.A. Salvador book. But I did promise I was going to do it, so I rolled up my sleeves, went, let's go and be a fucking mature and respectful friend, and let's do this. If nothing else, I can read it to the end and say I did it, and how I feel about it can be based entirely just on that. Because, you know, that would be the respectful thing to do. So I did. And I won't lie, I did not like the beginning fourth of the book. Maybe even the first half of the book. Not that it was bad per se, but I was not enthralled or engaged. I did not care for the priest's daily things, the happy-go-lucky things. This felt very Harry Potter-y.
Yeah.
Where he look at this mystical and fun things, and I'm gonna go play pranks, and I've got my girlfriend, and oh, I have a squirrel friend, and I feed them sandwiches, and I hang out with the druids, and everything is so happy, and woohoo, I can't wait to be a boy, kind of things, right?
Yep.
And then the dark wizards show up. The fucking
The priests of Telona.
and they've got their fucking cursed thing that I don't remember the funny name for it, but it's like the
Chaos Curse.
The chaos curse. It had like the murder or something like that thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you know
I know
what
what
I
you mean.
It's titled.
I know. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Once our protagonist Catterley goes and finds this secret passage and starts to descend it, and his sort of rival, who's been possessed, fucking just kicks him down into the pit and hopes he dies, I kind of went, huh, okay, where are we going with this? And then he wakes up with a head wound, he's like, ow! My fucking head. Is that my
that's
blood?
Oh, that's my
That's
blood.
my blood. Oh. I was like, oh, what in the hell? And then he finds this mirror, and he looks into the mirror, and he gets bewitched, and this dark wizard has him grab a hold of this flask, and he's trying to stop himself from doing this, the protagonist. And he opens this bottle, and this red mist flows out, and then he gets cursed to forget everything that happens and falls asleep. And then this curse starts enveloping this entire compound, and all the people within it start going fucking crazy, except for two people. And that's Catterley and his friend the druid. Like, the priests start getting more aggressive in their things. They start gorging themselves on food to the point that they start to they can't eat anymore, and yet they're still trying to feed themselves. They have a ritual where they self-flagellate for their divine god, and people are starting to disembowel them fucking selves in this. And that rival character, who's no longer bewitched by the previous effect, is now being bewitched by this, tries to kill Catterley in his bed with a knife to cut his heart out and present it to Catterley's girlfriend to say, look how much better I am than him. And his girlfriend is being wildly driven by her ambitions to be more like this person, this master that she's studying, that she goes and prepares this test to prove her strength and devotion, to basically crack her head against a steel like spike and go through it because of her devotion. And what ends up happening is she almost kills herself because her head's not strong enough, and she luckily survives, thankfully, but they have to tie her up with roots so that she doesn't try it again. And it's through meditation that she starts to snap out of her fucking shit. But she's not fully safe from this. And even these dwarves that have been recruited, that were previously the like kitchen workers and stuff like that, and they were kind of like doing odd jobs around this compound. When they get recruited to help find out what's going on more further, they're not 100% unaffected. They're resilient, sure, but like they're actively fighting each other. Their sibling squabbles are becoming more aggressive and violent as things go on. They're less caring about the actions that are happening and more that their position is doing things. They are directly involved in some of the pain that's being caused by these individuals because they're supplying them the means to do what they're doing because they need to. because they're dwarves. And this starts to become a big problem when one of them dies in the fucking basement. He gets hit with poison and then crumbles. And then that rage and the grief just peaks over, hitting almost attacks Catterley. It's like, once we started getting to this, and everything had suddenly gone from this very happy place to your home, your childhood home is no longer safe, is no longer the place you remember it, and everyone around you is worse off, is when it got my attention. And I can definitely say that by the end of it, I did enjoy the story. I also think it's hilarious that you say Catterley is one of these major characters who shows up in later things. I did not ever get the picture that Catterley was particularly capable from the events in the story.
That's the entire point of it. It's that he's not.
Like, he goes
He
in
is
with,
just
oh,
he is just a dude trying to live the tenets of his god by and literally all he has is a yo-yo.
He has a
yo-yo
well,
is-
it's like a dart gun.
Yeah,
dark.
a dart
But
crossbow.
he even
Oh, and a
says-
blowgun.
it-
And his pipe.
He has a blowgun. He does get. I think he does end up getting like a staff, but he doesn't really use it too much. But yeah, it's like that's I think that's in later books. I think that picks up in the next one. But like, yeah, it's quite literally all of his weapons. He doesn't like fighting. He doesn't want to fight.
No, they're toys.
So all of his weapons are toys,
When he cracks that
and
dude up the head,
he openly says that.
when he cracks that dude in the head with his yo-yo, and he sees the blood on it, and the part of that guy's fucking eyebrow that stuck to it, which was like visceral.
Yeah.
And he looks at it and he realizes this is no longer a toy but a weapon. He no longer enjoys holding it in his hands. And I went,
No.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That is why I enjoy this series probably the most, and I think it is his best. And I honestly think it's his best character-driven and development works, because he really delves into the meaning of the characters, their wants, their fears, and that's the entire thing for this entire thing. Because that's what we're going to touch on next, is that the Chaos Curse itself, and what they created, is that what it brings to the forefront is the individuals who are affected by it, their most basest desire, what they want the most. As you had said, like his girlfriend, Dianca, wants to meet and beat this this tenant, the skull cracking.
Yeah, the Ironhead.
Rufus, yeah, Kirikan Rufus, his rival. His deepest desire is getting with her. The priests gorging themselves on food. There's one who leads the choir just starts singing and loses their voice. The priestess of Saloon basically just goes on this huge like wave of debauchery and sleeps with as many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, I wonder what, I think I hear screaming coming from her room. Press his ear against door. Oh, that's not screaming.
No. But that's the thing. That is what their god. That is actually the tenets of their god, is to make love. It is essentially a goddess of lust. That's where they get their power from. That is how their healing is channeled. In a literal sense. Yeah, there's so many things. Like, then the priests and their power dynamics. But we took over to see the cult of Telona and the power dynamics between Alabaster and I forget the other one. It's essentially ruled by 3 branches of Telona. He's Alabaster is a wizard. There's the Enforcer side, which are a clan of orcs or ogres, I think.
I think they were orcs. I
They
think
were
they
like
were
bugbears.
Were they bugbears?
no?
I thought they were
Yeah.
like
No.
orcs.
I don't.
Because it was like, or was it ogres?
They-
I
no,
said
they
like
both
ogre,
say
ogre-ish
bugbear.
is what they kept saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the more monstrous, more outsider races, right?
Hmm.
So it's a clan of them. They're the enforcers for them, and then you've got the priests, who's led. I forget the name of the head priest off the top of my tongue. So I'm still trying to find the name of this thing. They're just referring to it the Chaos Curse.
Where's my Kindle?
I can't access my thing because the stream stuff is taking priority.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, he's head of the Triumvirate in Castle Trinity.
They're a castle. That's fucking
Bargin.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they quite literally in a abandoned castle where their headquarters is. Bargin is the cleric. Ogre Lion or Ogolin,
Yeah, Ogrelin.
Rangor. It's a crossbreed of an orc and an ogre.
Wild. So Snoo and Trinky, how have you enjoyed sitting here not being able to add to the conversation?
I love being useless.
I'm just vibing.
Just vibing. All right.
What were some of the what revelations were in those books? Because I can't remember. I don't know whether you'll want to go and read the rest of them in your own time or anything like that.
Probably.
But I don't want to.
Not for any negative reasons. For again, I did enjoy the story. It's again.
Yeah.
I do not. I trauma is the best way to put it. Trauma from this
course.
experience. I will have to really force myself to be able to do this. I could do it. I proved it. In fact, if it wasn't for the time constraint I had at the particular time, I probably could have sat down and read that whole book in one sitting.
Yeah.
Okay, I have what they called it. The most fatal horror.
The most fatal horror. There it is. Snoop was playing
That was
Cookie
it, yeah.
Clicker or whatever that game is. Yes, Snoop just opened a Cookie Clicker and the whole world saw. All of China knows
I meant
you're
to
here.
open it before the stream because I have shit that takes fucking hours.
Tell me about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
but-
taking me like 13 hours a day to do a run on Clicker Heroes at the minute. It's shit.
Yeah.
I hate some of these mini games in Cookie Clicker. I'm not gonna lie, they feel like bullshit.
Yeah, I refuse. A lot the achievements that I haven't got, I refuse to do.
That's fair.
Snoo and Taddy set off my stream notifications like it's their job.
Chalk, are you gonna end up? Are you interested in reading the rest of them?
Potentially, it's definitely not like up the I have a list of things that I need to like, read. It's definitely not high on that list. It's kind of when I run out of other things, I might consider it. There wasn't anything
Sure.
that truly hooked me to make me want to read more.
So you don't mind if I reveal a couple of?
No, go ahead.
things?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for a
Almost 30-year-old book.
Right.
yeah.
I think it is 30
Um,
years old, actually.
It is. Yeah, they are about 30. They're over 30 years old. Yes. So I don't know if they if they gave Alabaster a last name.
I do know he's his Cataly's like fucking dad, right?
Dad.
Yeah,
Yes.
they reveal it at the very end of the book. It's like the last thing they
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure if they done that or not. Yeah. But yes, yeah. So quite literally, it is his dad, and it essentially is setting up a showdown between the two of them. There's a lot of things. Basically, in the culmination of it, where it kind of ends, is that he has essentially an entire crisis of faith through his entire journey as he's doing this, but he's still carrying on. And it culminates right at the end, where essentially he is confronted with, how do I do this? What am I doing? Am I truly this? That library ends up desecrated. Rufo ends up drinking the Chaos Curse.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That had to suck going down.
Oh, it does. He dies, but is then resurrected as this pseudo-vampire.
God, what an asshole.
Yeah, and then basically desecrates and turns the entire library.
My goodness, I got rejected by a girl and now everyone has to die.
Well, it's more just, I got rejected by a girl, my rival branded me. Because I'm fairly certain that was at the end of the book, he gets branded with the mark of Denier.
I believe
right?
so, yeah.
I don't
So
remember a
basic-
brand. I remember him getting his like year-long thing.
No, so Candidly gets a year-long thing to try and deal with this Chaos Curse, find out where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Rufo gets branded by Candidly for his actions and like essentially making him open the Chaos Curse.
Yeah.
But it's reserved mainly, like, only the dean of the library is allowed to, or like the high priests are allowed to do this. And Candidly takes it upon himself to do it, and he gets in trouble for it. That's the whole point. That his punishment is this year-long sabbatical, as it were. The brand of Denier basically is that they're not allowed they're banned from the library or any place of learning, and they have to keep the brand visible. You are not allowed to hide the brand. As you hide it, it will.
Oh, Trinky died.
Trinky died.
Trinky lost. We lost a Trinky. The brand will basically drill further and further into your skull until it reaches your brain and will kill you. And it is meant to be excruciating. Like, you can't even, like, if you've got a fringe, you have to get rid of your fringe. Your fringe cannot cover it because that is hiding the mark of Denier. But yeah, so basically it's like they have to just wipe. They level the library at the end. They get what they can because essentially it's tainted by everything that's happened there. And he ends up creating an entire new cathedral from his very life force. As this cathedral is created, he is getting older.
Trinky's playing Clicker Heroes.
Huh?
Now Trinky's playing Clicker Heroes. Did they leave intentionally?
I think she crashed.
I did not. My father reset the internet.
Oh!
Oh,
Welcome back.
Hi.
don't you love when your family does that with no warning?
Yes, I'm great, man.
But so yeah, he creates this new cathedral called the Spirit Sora, and it basically all the while that it is being just formed out of the earth, he is getting older and older until he is literally near death, decrepit. He is aged to like the age of like 90 to 100, and all in the name of Denier. It turns out that in service to that, he's not going to die. He starts getting younger as his life force starts. He starts getting younger and younger and reverting back to an age that he should be, in the story. It was a trial by from Denier.
I see.
I mean, I think one of the more tragic characters in that first book, I think it was covered in this, but basically was Penelope. Essentially his mentor, as it were, the last chosen of Denier. She basically has the Book of Denier and hands it off to Candlely because she's turning into a shark.
I don't remember that in the book.
Was it not in the book?
I don't.
I'm not remembering that.
I don't remember that in this book. Maybe that's in
Okay,
another
then
one.
it wasn't. Yeah, okay. It jumbles like I know most of the facts and it's like placing them. There are very ones that I know
getcha.
definitely don't happen, but
I get you.
but I mean you remember Penelope, right? She ends up like just retreating to her room, right?
Yeah.
Constantly scratching at her skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because her skin is turning into essentially like razor blades, or like shark fins.
But sharks are so smooth.
Yeah, I don't know why.
In one direction.
Sharks are so smooth. You can pet them in any direction.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them.
You can approach any shark and just start petting it from any direction.
Touch my tail? I don't
But-
think so.
But yeah, she wants to basically just be I'm fairly certain it's be aquatic. I can't remember exactly what she's wanting to be, but she is turning into an animal.
I wish I was a shark.
Very
I wish I was
different
a
from
bus.
how the druids were being.
Yeah, where they just like,
Where
I'm
they
a
quit
bear.
I'm just a bear now. I'm just gonna be a bear.
And then the one druid is like, why can't I join my brotherhood of being an animal? Ooh.
Yeah, no, he I mean, yeah, he is quite literally having a crisis of faith as well because he's not able to turn. He's not able to be like that, and he's the one who's going with Candlely.
It's fine. He becomes a badger.
He does become a badger.
And he gets bludgeoned to death by the club.
No.
Yeah.
Then he kind of goes full on like martyr mode.
He does, but my god,
Yeah.
as that badger, he claws the fuck out of that guy. As it turns out, mage armor doesn't work forever.
No, it doesn't.
Snoo, just Snoo. Imagine you cast mage armor on yourself, and a fucking badger just latches onto you and just keeps going. Right? At some point, that badger's gonna get through that mage armor, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That's what happens to this.
If I remember correctly, badgers have also been like always a decent
Oh, no.
thing.
It
I
happened
think
again.
Chunky died again.
Yep, it happened again. I keep having to
Rest in
move
peace.
my VTuber. I'm fine now, but I'm gonna have to move him again.
I figure you could just leave it until she comes back.
Now I'm over you.
She'll come back.
Now I'm over you. I'm in the
Peepus.
sunflower field. It's mine now. And now I'm behind
Why?
Ronzi. Ronzi, don't look behind you. Don't do it. If you do, I will get you. I will get you. I'm right here. I'll get you.
Also, you
Um,
love the filter effects in VC Phase, don't you?
I forgot I'm still Bioshocked out right now.
Yeah, you're black and white.
I'm a little spliced up, you could say.
Mox is on his last life. Don't let him go down again.
I know, I'm black and white. I need a medic bag. I'm dying. Ah!
Sorry, all I have is little medic packs. They don't get you any more lives. They just heal you.
That snooze VTuber just like roll their eyes in the back of their fucking head.
Listen,
I read Clicker Heroes as Clicky Heroes.
Trinky
Clicky
hero.
Heroes,
yeah.
same thing.
Clicky Heroes.
So I'm Chalk. I am assuming, and I mean, it's a very good assumption that it's Pickle, Boulder Shoulder.
That's the one that's not a druid, right?
The one who doesn't want to be a
No,
druid.
no, that's the one that is the druid. Pickle is the one that's a doodad.
No, I like the other one.
The one
Oh,
who's
you're
more
like
in the-
Ivan.
in the- yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
okay.
the who killed my brother.
You kill my brother.
Yeah. You're my brother.
I'm gonna kill my brother.
It's fine. That one dwarf is fine. He died, but he didn't really die. It's like his body was. He basically had a heart attack, and then they sucked the poison out of him, and then gave him very aggressive monk-based CPR.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that Tricky came back as soon as you said sucked the poison out of him.
Yep.
Monkey
I'm
based
gonna punch
CPR.
this chest and come back to
Yeah, they
life.
flurried of blows his chest until his heart
Yep.
started.
Yep.
All the people are like, dude, that was unnatural. What the fuck?
Dude, what the hell was that? At first they're like, don't defile his corpse, lady. What are you doing? And she's like, no, I got this. I think I felt his rib break.
Holy shit, I'm alive. What was the other side like? I don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god, my brother. Oi.
Yeah, so Pickle is the one who is the green-haired dwarf who doesn't really form true sentences,
Pickle.
but literally goes around as just wanting to be a doodad.
Hey, what do we do that?
And he goes around and puts he quite literally when Cataly actually convinces to recruit them to go and sort this thing out, he just goes and grabs the cooking pot they were quite literally cooking the food for the other priests in and puts it on his head.
And his fucking log.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, his shillelagh.
Yeah.
I think in later books in the series he ends up losing his arm.
That's unfortunate.
It really is.
One-armed druid. It's fine. If you're a one-armed
Yeah.
druid and you wild shape, does your wild shape still have missing an arm? Or
I feel like that would be up to the player and DM to decide that.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
just
it-
gonna work out.
Trinky, if Lyra
I feel it
loses
would
an
be very-
arm and they transform into a bear, are they gonna be just a three-legged bear?
I feel it would be very interesting to make that. I'll be honest, my thing that I love doing with druids, whether I'm playing the druid or I'm DMing for the druid, is their wild shape has some sort of distinct thing about it to where you can
I'm gonna
identify
disappear
that's my
again.
druid from my party. Like,
Three-legged puppy's not a happy puppy.
I wonder what
Like-
wild line I'll come back to again next time.
To be honest, I think probably what would have been a better choice to introduce you in, at least to see about reading it, is just choosing one of his own series of books, the ones that are not D&D, that his entire own universe that involve none of the characters, because they're also, I think they're really good.
If it gets recommended, I will read it, but I still feel that little pit in my stomach.
I'm not. No, look. I know that you don't like it. I want you to read that because of the D&D series stuff. I think that is his best character-driven work.
Here's another confession.
But I'm not.
I have.
I'm not gonna recommend another R.A. Salvatore book. Don't worry.
No, you can. You absolutely can. Don't feel like just because I don't like it means you can't. Absolutely do what you want, to be clear. I don't enjoy this because of another individual, and if I'm being honest, I have never enjoyed D&D canon. Like, ever. Never
Fair
enjoyed
enough.
it. I much prefer to do my own thing, because I hate being, held to someone else's things.
That's
guy in
that's fair.
particular, Snoo and Chalk know what I'm talking about, is one of the big reasons contributing to that, since how many times did that guy say, that's not how it works, that's not the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
with that guy, and then that guy proceeded to not fucking read anything about 5e. And made up some shit that gave you disadvantage at death saving throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
He was a bad.
It's bad
He was a-
DM.
He was a very bad DM. Fuck that guy.
He had potential and refused to learn.
yeah.
He refused to listen to anyone unless you were a stranger on the internet.
If you were from
He
Reddit,
listened
he'd
to
listen to
you.
you.
Yeah, if you
If
were
it
a
was from
stranger
Reddit,
on
it agrees
Reddit,
with my personal opinion.
but my actual friends, fuck them.
Ugh, dear me. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I totally get that. I mean, that's what you've got. How I look at it is that, sure, they are in the universe, they're doing things, but they don't adhere to the. They can't adhere to a stat block on a sheet that you would see. They can't run the same way.
That was the fastest in and out this time.
Dude, I think she's struggling.
Oh, Trinky.
Oh, Trinky.
Yeah, poor Trinky. Yeah, they can't run the same way that a character on a piece of paper would at a table. They are fundamentally different. They have to be different, but then they are just insanely. They end up being a lot more powerful than your pen and paper characters could ever be.
Yeah.
The only thing of D&D canon that I care about is how they justify the different editions.
Yeah.
That's my favorite bit. How do we change spellcasting? God of Magic got Angie.
Oh, which one was? Is that 3.5 to 4?
I believe so, and then
No, she didn't get angry. She got killed.
no, that's later. I think
that was-
that's
that
4
was
to
the- that
5
was the
is
Sundering.
when she decides
That was
to
the
like.
Sundering. That was the Sundering. That was when Faerun.
What's a stick in the flying fucking
Split.
cities?
Yeah, where basically the planet just cracked apart and was split into two. Where the Feywild came back into it. That I'm fairly certain was Mystra just straight up being murdered. I think. I can't remember.
Whisper killed herself.
No, she was tricked. Wasn't one of the devils tricked a party into killing her? I think. I can't remember. It's
'Cause-
been about 15 years.
Because I could have sworn it was the dude in his flying city who was like, I will be the new god of magic, and then this was a bad idea. And then Mr. was like, okay, I can fix this, but it's gonna cost me to be me. So she basically died. Then a new Mystra came up and was like, okay, I have to fix this shit. 10th level spells are off the fucking table because you mortals can't handle this shit. And that's why spellcasting is so restricted in 5e.
That's when they all merged back together.
It's so
yeah.
tragic
We
that
have the spell
Trinky
plague.
keeps bouncing in and out while we're having D&D talk.
The spell plague was going into. No, I think you're right. Yeah, the spell plague is going into 4th edition.
Yeah.
The spell plague is going into 4th edition, where magic just goes crazy because Mystra's gone.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most heart-wrenching deaths that I'd seen.
Can I pose a question real quick? Because most of us here have a background in this, from the books that we've read to the things we've played and the things we've done and the experiences with it. we all collectively have dragged Trinky kicking and possibly screaming into the Dungeons and Dragons mindset. And I am
You think
curious.
I've been kicking and screaming?
You have absolutely been kicking and screaming. Just, you've maybe been enjoying it, but you were absolutely screaming. I can think of a couple of occasions.
Yeah, I get frustrated a lot.
Yeah.
I get really frustrated when I feel stupid.
How do you feel about D&D at this current point?
Stupid.
Stupid.
I feel like my knowledge of D&D is the tip of a pin in the world. Like, I feel like I know next to fucking nothing. I just played the full Blue Flame campaign. I still didn't use one of my rogue abilities that I knew I had since my 3rd level.
You rewatched the Blue Flame adventure?
Well, no, but
Oh.
I was saying I played the whole
Oh.
thing and I've still not used some of my abilities. I still don't actually know. I did the same thing every fight because I didn't know what else to do. Like,
Yeah, no,
feel
that's
dumb.
pretty normal, actually, for a new character, a new player.
That is.
It is very normal.
yeah,
So-
yeah, and
And I'm not saying that's not normal, but in terms of like, I just feel stupid. Like, my realm of knowledge and how things work and what things do and
Yeah.
all of it is so tiny.
It's a lot.
Like, it's
There's a lot
such
to learn.
journey to
I,
go on.
I have found that is exactly the kind of thing that for new players to have, and that's one of the things I've always loved about new players, is because you don't know, you're actually more willing to try things, not sure if it would work or not, which gets some of the most creative and wild shit you've ever seen. Or they'll they'll ask questions that no one has ever asked before that stumps them. My favorite question I was ever asked as a DM is what a room smelled like, because that fucking dumbstruck me. Like, I genuinely didn't know how to answer that because it didn't occur to me that that might be an important thing, is what does the room smell like? I didn't know. I had to think.
I love new players for tabletops. They do
I
the
genuinely
most
think-
interesting shit.
The smartest thing I did in Blue Frame was casting darkness on that boat
That
at
was
the start of episode.
that was
It
fucking
was
incredible.
huge brain
that
play.
was
that
brilliant.
was incredible.
Like, that was, I still think that was the best thing I'd done in the whole campaign. Like, I peaked and then I just never came back.
You peaked at a very pivotal moment. That one action was absolutely responsible for you guys surviving.
Yeah.
Dude, every single beneficial thing we did in that fight saved our fucking asses. We were not prepared for that fucking boat
You
combat.
guys had to really get creative.
By
You
all
really
like,
did.
honestly, it was
We
so
should've
bad.
fucking sunk, but we did it.
Yo,
We built
I
it
mean, yeah, I mean,
you did
we
nearly
made
die,
some
but-
oversights, but
almost.
with
I almost died.
there were
I died later.
there were definitely oversights in that, but I think it made for a better, a more interesting story.
I just sat back there,
Absolutely.
twiddled my thumbs, and went, "Oh my god, you're not spending any money on your ship, you fucking
So,
idiots."
The
Mox
funny
and
thing is,
Chalk.
obviously, I can't imagine it happening any differently now. Like, we
But-
did what
I
we
wouldn't-
did,
no, I
and
wouldn't-
we
yeah.
learnt the hard way, and I can't imagine of us just rolling up to that fight and being fully equipped and being like, "Huh, let's do this." Like,
Yeah.
that just never in my brain feels like that should have been what happened.
Yeah, no, Mox and Chalk know full well I will do shit that is self-sabotaging purely because it's more interesting for the story.
Hey there, Melody. Why are you wandering off in that cave?
Oh, I'm just I'm just a curious person. I want to go see this, and the adults are over there talking, so I'm just gonna go this way.
I can't believe how much.
But I feel like
mischief-
another like moment of my genuine stupidity in D&D was when you died.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely didn't know that was what was gonna happen.
It's okay, me either.
But I
All
kind
of
of
us
had a
fucking
suspicion.
forgot
but, like,
vampires have that kind of ability where if you get brought to 0 HP, you die.
from
Yeah.
there, from that one attack.
from that one attack.
Well, the thing is,
all of-
like, I
I
didn't even know it was a
forgot,
vampire.
Mox
like, I could
forgot.
assume. Like, I could infer that it was a vampire, but then if you'd gone how do vampires in D&D work, I don't know.
Vampires.
Vampires.
Your assumption would be like how vampires work in media.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved all the stupid.
I still
shit
think
got
us one-shotting the Fragon as well was like...
away.
I'm sorry, the first Fragon, that shit was so good.
One turn.
It was so fucking good, man.
Give me my fucking
okay?
frag.
OTK.
You okay,
It's-
Mox? You
It was,
okay?
it was, it was an OTK, just not the way it usually goes.
That's the thing, though, is I can't fault you guys for taking advantage of its state. The dice said it fucked up. It fumbled. It fell to the ground. You guys got advantage. And wouldn't you know it, a rogue getting advantage, a Goliath man getting advantage, all of you getting advantage, kind of fucked him up. And he wasn't particularly strong. Like, he was a boss enemy for you guys at that time, but still mortal.
Yeah.
It's fine,
Yeah.
it's fine. The
That
fragging,
was still so good.
I felt confident in throwing more fragging at you guys. Clearly it wasn't a
Yeah.
problem. Even more funny though.
Oh, still, and another one of my favorite moments still is Snu. In
Yeah?
the last playthrough, running into the little fucking lizard
oh, the group of cultists.
The cultists.
all
Magic
casting
missile.
on me.
And just using magic
I was
missile.
like, what was it? Fucking 13 spellcasters all casting. What was it? 3rd level magic missile on my ass. I'm gone.
You gotta admit that was pretty good.
I don't think anyone would have expected that. I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely expecting to get attacked. I wasn't expecting to get nuked from orbit.
That's what made it a surprise.
so fucking confidently being like, I've got to kill these guys.
I didn't know they had magic missile. We didn't learn about that the last time we fought them.
You just saying that reminds
So
me of
good.
that like short TikTok that's been going around of the custom D&D spell. I cast 50 caliber magic missile.
I love the wizard casting things. My favorite still though is I cast man's butt crack. Oh, and I used to be so peggable. That's always the follow-up. That's always the follow-up.
I also loved when everyone turned big and started to float away in the village as well. And that was good because obviously it was bad at the end when everyone started to go big and float away in space and we were trying to hold people down. But when we did that in like the second part of the campaign, and we were just in that village, and were we being chased at that point? And people started floating.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
took
we
us
were.
so
It was me. It was only me. Only me.
So
Yeah, it was just Farum got a random effect, and
That was,
then
that was a fat
Catras-
Farum balloon.
started to float
Catras
away.
aggravated the
I
villagers.
shrunk. Yeah.
Yeah, you shrunk by like a few inches,
I
and then
shrunk
Melody
and
grew
you
like
grew
a
fucking
2 feet.
huge. Grungy
I-
floated away, and it all happened within the space of like half an hour.
I mercifully didn't get much of the like physical random effects from all of
that was
those.
from random chance, and because Snoo and Trinky
No,
were
they
having
were
a
filming.
fucking war over there on the votes.
My poor fucking hair was never the same.
No. Catras got it the worst. Even when I started, like, I was
Really
just like,
did.
all right, war's over. I'm going to try and take these negative effects and put positive effects on Catras. Catras kept getting the fucking altercations.
I was albino, stone fingers, goo hair, mood ring hair.
RGB.
Something
Got
else.
shorter.
It was,
Yeah, you got
it was
shorter.
everything just. You name it, it happened.
Also the devil mask. The Oni mask.
Oh yeah, my only mask.
Yeah, but that wasn't from the wild. The wild
No, but that
magic
still
was-
contributes
Yeah.
to the visual changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can choose to have the visuals on or off.
Yeah.
I loved a lot of the shit I was able to get away with of being a little prankster as a DM. I think the first one that fucking got everybody, and it's so funny to me, is actually when Melody wandered off in that cave and walked up the fucking river, and the fucking boulder came down, and you were like,
Oh, got me so good with that.
and then it was made of paper.
we done everything we can to save you without thinking of that. I'll be honest, I almost cast a spell at it. I almost did, thinking this might work. I'm like, but if it doesn't, Melody's getting crushed. I can't do that. I can't take that risk.
Oh my god. It was so fucking
would've
funny
been-
to me. Then I
This motherfucker will show you a trap and then turn you into a fucking Looney Tunes bit for real.
I think one of my other favorite traps actually was the village trap, where you guys were being monitored for what you were doing, and if you insulted the village a collective amount of times, I think it was like 3 or 4 times, the village would turn into basically a Left 4 Dead horde, right? And in the span of 10 seconds, Trinky ate all of your fucking chances.
Trying to open the door 3 times.
The fucking door.
Technically, we had 4, but didn't Chalk or someone apologize, and so they got one back?
They did.
You slammed the door into that person, didn't apologize,
And kept doing it.
and kept doing it.
Yep. I don't regret my choices.
Great!
Choice.
I do it again.
Gray's looking left and right. I had something in like every one of the bits. One of my favorite traps was ultimately fucking Ferrum being taken back to the fucking bedroom. I was
Yes,
like,
that shit was so funny.
just, alright, Ronzi. Spotlight's on you. You got these very beautiful drow women on you. What are you gonna do? Be gone, thought! And then he proceeded to have to fight 3 half-naked drow women in the middle of a giant, luxurious bedroom while you guys are over there slaughtering younglings.
Failing to slaughter younglings. I remember I fumbled
I
against
was
one of them.
so-
It was fucking disappointing and hilarious.
I also really loved the moment at the end of part 3 when Snoo just gets like wedded and stolen away, literally like 20 seconds before the campaign ends.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, well, goodbye. Later, everybody.
I had to change so many things because of that.
I know.
Part 4 was entirely different because of that one fucking moment.
Yeah.
They're hanging above me right
What
now.
did you even? What was part 4 gonna look like otherwise? Do you think?
Well, it was gonna be the same thing of you guys going through there and dealing with it, but ultimately, you guys were gonna have to deal with the person at the front gate as an enemy instead of them being an ally, and then everything became so much more different, and I had to rework them and rework their interaction with everything because, well, they were now technically married to one of you, and it'd be kind of rude to kill your wife in the first day of being married.
You showed me what my wife looked like. I said she's pretty, and I said we're not killing her.
As it turns out, all you have to do is be pretty to not get murdered by a D&D group. Who'd have thought?
Wow.
If I made the other gods hot, you would crumple so fucking fast.
As a side note,
Hey, Esther.
fucking, when the Thrife actually died, that was great. Not only was it a sad moment, I think it had its full
Dude, I was
gravitas.
crying. I
Uh,
was crying.
her presence and absence was noticeable.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was immediately felt, yeah.
Goddamn, it was like, wow, there's just this emptiness of the group without her. Holy shit.
Mhm.
Crazy.
I don't think you understand how hard I sobbed at the end of part 4. Like, I was an actual mess.
Oh, you
I
mean the
cried.
finale?
so hard.
The finale.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the ending. I spent
Yeah.
a long while trying to think of things that could happen, but ultimately your guys' decisions was gonna have to play it. So that all of that was fucking improv, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the whole thing, and all of it just coming together. I was just like,
Yeah, me
I think
too.
it's
I was-
over.
me and Trinket were both fucking crying our
We
eyes
was, I was
out.
just celebrating of me crying into the
Uh-huh.
Discord.
Yeah.
I had to repeatedly like mute my
It-
mic.
Yeah, it was rough. I think as well because it was like my first D&D character. It was like I'm like overtly attacked the Catros.
Of course. I'm glad you had that feeling. Genuinely glad that you had that feeling. That meant if something did happen and go wrong, you were going to really feel it. And I would have loved to
I
open that
still
wound for
just
you.
have no concept of why I fucking hated every single one of you off the bat, and I just I
I
don't.
really feel like how we started the first session and you making Katris someone who got seasick, I think that very, very start is what kicked it off.
Yes.
I just
It was. It
never
quite literally was the
intentional.
seasickness.
Yeah.
It was the
No,
seasickness
yeah, right.
combination
It was
interacting
never
with the
intentional.
NPC. Because that immediately altered whatever trajectory you had for her character forever.
I feel like there was actually no chance of her ever getting along with everyone.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't imagine now the campaign with us all being friends. Like, I can't imagine
You guys all became friends.
what
at the
that
end.
would look like. I just can't imagine what Blue Flame would have looked
Amicable.
like if there wasn't this underlying tension. I think, obviously, Gecko helped a lot.
Yeah, he did. We needed Gecko. and
I think
Spoofy
Gecko.
and-
I think the dilution. I think by part 4, by the time there was all the other players and characters, the dilution was what was needed. I think the concentration in the first part is what led to
You're-
such hatred.
You're telling me this incredibly lonely character just needed more friends?
No, I think he's not. Yeah, but I think the problem was in the first part, it was like you and me at odds, and then Kronzi in the middle, but Kronzi also on your side, and Katros just like vehemently hating both of you.
It wasn't
then
even
when there was
necessarily
more
fair
players-
on her
wasn't-
side.
I
It's just
wasn't-
they got along, and I think that contributed
Yeah.
to Katris feeling lonely, and that made
But
her
then
more
I was also, like,
adversarial.
Then Katros tried to kill Farum, but they struck a deal, and so that evened it out. But yeah, Melody and them never. But then by the time Gecko came in and all the other characters, it was also diluted down that there wasn't as much emphasis on the hatred.
Had to spread it
Yeah.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
hated
I mean,
everybody
it-
a little bit.
It wasn't that Farum didn't get on with you. It's that
No,
he had. He had.
She's a bitch. It's okay.
Well, yes, but he had mutual respect. He respect for your skills. In of that, and that's where he was going down. Is just obviously, yeah. The character itself was definitely isolationist in nature because that's all that they'd ever known for the majority of their life, right?
So here's my weird theory about why Melody and Katris were so hateful towards each other, especially at the start. I feel as characters they actually had a lot in common. And I know with Melody at the start, I was basically having her just match the energy of the other party members to try and get a feel of your guys' characters. And well, when Katris starts off with insulting her and calling her a thing, Melody took Melody took offense to it. And it just became this sort of like, well, if she's rude, then I can be rude too. That's how it works.
Yeah, and if Aaron couldn't
Never-
really step in to like say, okay, both of you stop it, because at that point and never really had authority to do that, and that's not what he was looking
Authority.
for or to do.
Despite trying to be a cult leader.
I
Yes.
need you, Snoo, to write an AU one-shot of Katros and Melody being stuck on some sort of random side quest together.
I need you.
If you
to
want,
write fan
if you
fiction.
want,
Write me
if
some
you
fanfic.
want.
I
So,
need you to
hang
write
on,
it.
hang on, wait. So I'm actually in the middle of writing an AU story about Melody.
I know you are.
And if you guys
I
want,
need you-
I can put your guys' characters in there too.
I need
Wow, that's
Yeah,
weird.
go
It
for it.
feels like I already have a
One-shot,
character
like,
in there.
that, like Katros and Melody are like trying to break into a bank or something, and just I need that dynamic. Like it's just the two of them, no one else. I need the dynamic.
Chuck, how did
Oh.
you feel as the character in the middle of all of this fucking nonsense?
I was just trying to embody Gecko, who is a happy dumbass. And thankfully, Katros never crossed the line for him.
Close a couple times if I remember correctly.
Came
They go very
close.
close. Go very close a couple times.
She doesn't know
But
what
he
the
was-
line is.
He was just trying to help everyone get the fuck along. But he's a dumbass.
Yeah. See, Gecko knows people should work together. He doesn't know how to get people to work together.
Oh no, Medibang, no. Medibang, don't open right now. Medibang, please.
Why does Medibank keep opening for you?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be right back with you.
You have it on the taskbar?
Yeah?
Take it off the taskbar.
No.
You're really obviously something happens and you keep clicking it.
No.
Yeah,
Or you could just leave it as
the one-
Medibank.
I'm starting to enjoy
like-
my anger!
Okay. I was gonna say like put Notepad there and then it'll just open and you can close it faster.
As I say, the one person that could make us all work together was was the warlock, who was one of the antagonists
Yeah?
in the dynamic. Well, yeah, you would have, being a warlock, you would have had the highest charisma out of all of us, right? Be able to convince us to work together.
Yes, the problem is Melody had a self-esteem problem. She had a
Yeah.
very strong sense of self, but not a good self-esteem when working with others, because in her backstory she was convinced I can't be a leader. It's simply not possible for me because I'm a monster.
And then you became a
Well,
paladin.
I didn't have the I didn't have the charisma, but I was thrust into a leadership role.
Yeah.
And none of you had an brain cells to rub against each other, if I remember correctly. No one had a decent
Melody had an
intelligence.
11.
Didn't
She
you have
had,
the
she had a
highest?
general education.
Didn't you have the highest intelligence too?
Yes.
Yeah.
At 11.
Gecko can't read.
Gecko
highest.
can't read.
I mean, mine. I still had enough in there from the wisdom and everything like that, but yeah, just did not have the intelligence. I think mine was 8 or something.
Oh man, I'm feeling that right now in Baldur's Gate.
None of
With
us were wizards, so no one,
intelligence, I'm a
everyone could have
wisdom
made
player.
intelligence their dump stat.
Yeah. No wizards, no artificers.
Yep. No int spellcasters.
Yeah, and the characters who got thrown at you guys also were not intelligence based per se.
This was just
Yeah.
a world full of idiots.
The smartest person you guys encountered isn't even fair because they're a god, and the second smartest person you guys encountered was the fucking shopkeep. Okay.
What
Oh,
was
man.
his
I
intelligence
still-
you're willing to tell us?
Smarter than you.
Yeah.
I still love that you almost got me with the mystery boat.
I would have done it if it
So
wasn't for you
close.
meddling kids.
So close.
I'd have goddamn done it.
Oh,
Could even be a boat.
Could even be a boat.
could be a boat.
It was, actually.
The running joke came full circle. Oh,
Well,
man.
that trap was for you, and you fell for it, man. If nothing else, I'm good about getting you. I'm good about knowing what bait to hook to get you guys to walk where I need you to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing for you as a DM. It's not less of like Blue Flame notwithstanding, because you did do a lot of thorough planning, but in your typical DMing stuff, you're not doing super thorough planning. You are learning how your players work, and then you're figuring out what hooks and baits to throw out for your players, and be like, here's where I want you to go. Here's what I want you to do. Here's the keys I'm jangling in front of you, and I know you want them
Mm-hmm.
because I put the keys you want on them.
I think most of my characters have survived the campaigns that they've been in. Only one hasn't so far, and I've talked about it before. I was attached to the character. I enjoyed the character, but I would not have them resurrected. And
Tell me about
there
that.
isn't a way for it, huh?
Yeah, tell me about it. You do your
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I'll explain my thing.
Yeah. So I mean, this was during 4th edition, because I've still got the cards from that time. I was a Gensai Ranger, I believe. But yeah, it's just like their death through the culmination of everything. Like pseudo lost our hearts. We were trying to get them back from one of the devils or whatever. It was a side thing for us. We needed to sacrifice them to get to another point to progress the story. But yeah, in a confrontation, because we wouldn't do what this devil wanted, they basically went out from a succubus's kiss.
Right, you got sucked to death.
What a way
I
to
got
go,
sucked
though.
to death.
What a way to go.
Yep, I couldn't resist the charm, and yeah, their kiss brought me to 0 HP, and the character just turned to dust and scattered to the wind.
Mm.
The rest of the party were like, "Oh yeah, no, we can bring him back. We still want to." Like, no, you can't. I was scattered to the wind.
Yeah, what do you
it's
have?
fine.
I believe like anything short of a wish spell, which did wish exist in 4th edition?
Oh yeah, Wish has been
Yes.
around forever,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, so like I don't think anything short of a wish would have brought you back.
So
Yeah.
I like to make new characters every time I play something. Okay.
Hmm.
Like I like to make new characters, even when we're doing the same adventure or restarting it. I like to do a new character, right?
Yeah.
You would not believe the amount of pushback I do get from that, especially from Snoo whenever this comes up. I can think of 2 characters off the top of my head that got the most, and one of them is a character that I genuinely hated that particular version of him because of it, and that was a character of mine named Ardent, who got brought into being a space pirate. I didn't
I
want to
have
make
no
him.
defense. I'm very bad about this.
I did not want to do that, but I did. And then the other one was a robot character of mine by the name of Soma, who, again, from Snoo in particular, fought very hard to get me to play them again, and I didn't. I fought push back on that
Yeah.
one. I don't like doing that. I have now done it of my own volition once, and that's for this World of Darkness thing I'm bringing back my first actual OC into the World of Darkness to be a mage. And that's my choice in this particular bit, and I'm excited to see that through.
I am very excited to see him and Chelsea butt heads. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great. We already did technically an RP with that in a very short duration that was hilarious. Man, you go do whatever your voodoo stuff is. It's just like hoodoo. What? It's hoodoo. Hoodoo's the magic. Voodoo's the faith.
Who do you voodoo, bitch?
Hoodoo, you voodoo bitch.
Oh god, speaking of that, when you started talking about the manga that we're doing, and you started off with "This is a story," I was very, very tempted
To do this
start
story
singing
all
the
about
fresh-
how. Yeah, I thought
How-
it too.
yes.
I thought it too. I thought it too. Now, speaking of stories.
I fought that urge.
Speaking of stories, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. I am ready to give my recommendation. We're getting closer to the end. We don't have to stop us after this, but I am ready to do my recommendation. And my recommendation is going to reveal itself to two parties. Ronzi, you should have gotten a notification on Steam.
Oh god.
Trinky,
boy.
you should have gotten a notification on Steam.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I am not.
I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Hell yeah!
I love the two polar opposite reactions.
Polar opposite
I'm
reaction.
scared.
Hell
I
yeah!
have like a
Ah.
guess. I'm probably not right. What is it?
My
What's your
What do
recommendation.
you think it is?
My recommendation for this month is Alan Wake.
Ah. Ah.
So much fucking pressure, man.
So
I'm scared.
okay, so then question, what for someone that's already experienced the thing,
Mhm.
would it be you would want me to like replay it, or is it just we'll just talk about it next month?
You are going to help me add context to things. And if you
Okay.
want to replay it to refresh your memory, I'm not going to be opposed. Now,
I mean, there are achievements in there I want to get.
there is a thing I should bring up. And it's a thing that Chalk and I have talked about. Chalk might not be present for the next podcast bit.
Yeah.
So
It's very unlikely.
they're going to opt out of the recommendation for giving and possibly participating in for this bit. And that's completely fair and understandable.
Do you know the date of the next potty?
The next one should be on the 26th.
Yes.
So
That
just
would be
before
correct.
charity stream.
Yes.
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 Yeah, okay.
I will update the.
And I recommend this game wholeheartedly because it's not that long, actually.
No.
You can
It's really
sit.
I will do my best.
If you were to sit down and play it through, you could get it done, even on the easiest difficulty, probably in an afternoon. If you're looking for things, it'll take more time, of course. But if you're just experiencing the game, go for it. My thing is, if you could finish the game, that would be great. If you could finish the DLCs that come with it, the 3 of them, which are also very short, that would be ideal. But if you can't, at least the game. I want you guys to see my
I will
madness.
try.
I want you to experience
it.
my madness.
Was the DLC included in what you?
Yes. So they're called episodes,
Well-
and they're not like DLC that you purchase. They're just included with the game. As the DLCs that are for the game currently are things like the art book and soundtrack and stuff like that, which is a really good soundtrack, I'm being honest.
It's a really good soundtrack.
It's the collector edition.
Well, I wasn't able to properly enjoy it because we were streaming it, and it's very copyrighted.
It's unfortunately very copyrighted. To a point. Funny enough, the Old Gods of Asgard stuff is free. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the special episodes of The Signal and The Writer are just available they're just part of the game now. And those are the
So-
real juicy parts I want to talk about, if I'm being honest.
What I might try and do, I might try and stream it or something.
Go for it. Do it. I will 100% be excited to see where that goes.
Because I mean, I've played Max Payne as well, like years ago when it first came out.
Oh yeah, but this is technically
This
you're
is
playing
Alan Wake, yeah.
Yeah, you're technically playing the guy who wrote Max Payne.
Yeah.
So that is Mox's
Yeah,
recommendation.
that's my recommendation.
Ronzi, what is this recommendation that you already put?
So I mean, I can go with that, but I mean, I was probably going to suggest another book, but this is Control Alt. No, this is not Control Alt Delete. Sorry, this is completely different. This this is 8-bit theater. What
Okay.
I put into the thing.
Okay.
Do you want to put in? Oh, I'm not putting Alan Wake here as well.
I put it in my thing.
Okay, cool. But yes, yeah, that is the very first comic for 8-bit theater.
Okay.
How far would you like us to go?
However far you want to go. I don't know, because like I said, it's like 10 years worth of content in there.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm assuming
I
it was like released
couldn't-
weekly or something.
I think it was. I think to begin with, it may have been daily.
Oh my god. Oh my god, they're insane.
Let me.
People were really
They were
built in
young
the
and
2000s.
unafraid and ready to begin.
Yeah. Let's see. Every other day, from looks of things. Well, then it goes to the 8th, then the 11th. So yeah, I don't know. You can go as
There's a lot.
there is a lot for it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a webcomic, so it shouldn't be as hard to read. It's not like you're asking us to do. You're asking us to read Garfield comic strips, basically.
Something like that. Yeah.
I have a recommendation.
Okay.
It is an anime. It
Oh,
is,
yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I already told Nox what this is. It is one of my favorite animes in recent memory. It is wartime mecha, sorta.
I knew it was gonna be this one.
Yep. I am obsessed with this anime. I love it a lot. It's a really good soundtrack. It is called 86. Watch as much as you want. There's only 2 seasons, and each season is about 12 episodes. And you can skip the 0.5 episodes. Those are just summaries. I really, really like this. It takes place in a world not dissimilar to our own, except there's like more advanced technology, like slightly. Like if you were to take our world and put us just 50 years in the future. And also mecha, and it's war against unpiloted mechs. And it is a story about it is anti-fascism, it is anti-war in general, and also about how child soldiers will struggle to not be fighting machines, essentially. I feel that the end of season 2 is where it's the best, but if you only want to watch season 1, that's fine too. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Trinky, what do you want to recommend?
I have a recommendation because of the ethical, philosophical discussion that runs alongside my recommendation.
I feel that.
Okay.
The recommendation itself is somewhat shit.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
But you have to watch the thing so we can have the discussion.
Okay.
Right.
It's a series, a limited series on Netflix called The Island.
Okay.
Gonna have to sign up to Netflix again.
Not
Fine.
necessarily. I heard that if you
Oh,
talk
that
to a
one.
certain
Okay. The
pirate-
Island.
Yeah. The Island. It's on Netflix. It's a limited season. It came out in 2019. I've watched it twice when it first came out. I haven't watched it in years. But the premise of the show and or the premise of the universe that it is in, I think Mox will really enjoy the discussion of it.
Oh no, there's pressure on me now.
It's not very well reviewed. It's definitely not a perfect show. It only gets 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's definitely fucking better than 8%. I will tell you that for certain. But you have to watch it so we can have the discussion about the things. It's only 7 episodes and they're 40-minute episodes, so
Yeah.
it's not super long.
Hey man, I'm asking you to play what is essentially a TV show as well. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the thing itself is not. It's good. It's okay. but the discussion alongside it is the bit I'm more interested to have with people.
I put a playlist that I found of it. Does this look correct, Trinky, or?
Let me have a little look-see.
I can't look at it. I'm streaming. Oh man.
No.
No, not at all. Okay. Understood.
No, not at all.
Alright, we will.
I will probably find something for people to not have to use Netflix.
Unless-
I mean, we will
Yeah, I
find
do.
someone who has a Netflix thing and totally use it to watch all of this.
I don't want to subscribe.
Yeah,
to
I'll
it,
go. I'll go over to Sky's mom's house.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we'll all go.
We'll
over
all
Sky's
go to
mom's
Sky's mom's house and watch it together, and
Yes.
everyone
I
will
All
was,
laugh.
together.
I was looking at the archive for 8-Bit Theatre, and I completely forgot about Warbot in accounting.
See, my true recommendation that it's just not feasible to recommend to everybody is One Piece.
Well, you could recommend it to
You
to
could,
someone.
but
doing
you'd
it.
have to give a limit.
To be
You'd have
fair,
say
while
on
I've
this
been
episode.
while I've been laid up, I have been trying to.
So, like if you really want to recommend
I
One
appreciate
Piece,
that joke.
you can.
Somewhat
You,
effort.
you just have to give us something feasible within a month.
Yeah, I know. Well, watch all 1,100 episodes and then get back to me.
That's not exactly feasible.
I
Especially for
think it's
me.
I ain't
completely
even to
feasible.
Skypea yet.
You're not even a Skype here yet. Fucking hell.
No, to be fair, the stupid Crunchyroll app screwed me over because the way that they lay out the season is they do the normal season, then the HD re-release. So I'm like, haven't I watched this? And I wound up watching a season 3 times.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Skype here is when shit starts getting good, man.
I know. I'm trying to get there, but I've watched Alabasta times now.
You watched Alabaster 3 times?
Yes.
Oh, dude, that's rough as fuck. Alabaster's an okay arc, but it's not like...
It's
You
still
know-
early
Do you know
One
what?
Piece.
It's actually... Do you know what? You've done yourself a fucking favor, because I'm on episode 1100, and they're now making references to Alabaster. So, you will be an absolute pro by the time you get there.
Ah, yes, this is fresh in my mind 4 months later.
Mate, it's years ago I watched Alabaster.
Oh man. How much fear did you feel when you saw that pop up, Drinky? How much fear did you feel?
I'm just so scared. I'm gonna have nothing but positive things to say.
No. You can be honest, and that's fine.
When we say horror and scary, how scary are we actually talking?
It's not terribly scary if I'm being honest.
As someone who gets spooked by scary games very easily, it's not that bad.
It's really not.
Okay.
There is an
I
atmosphere,
just need to know if
especially
it's a
in.
lights on or a lights off situation.
I would keep lights on. Just
Is
keep
it
lights
worse or
on.
better than Soma?
It is definitely better than Soma.
It's better. It's better than Soma.
Way better than Soma.
In terms of no, isn't in terms of horror.
As in, like, scariness,
Yes,
it's not as
it's
scary as
That's
Soma.
what I'm referring to. It's not nearly as bad.
Oh,
as
okay.
Soma.
Okay. Well, if I've played Soma, then I'll be okay.
You will be able to handle this. Okay. I think the worst it really gets at times is people with chainsaws will run out of the forest and try and kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking great.
And enemies can be a little jump scary, and that's about it.
Yes, but you will always have the means of dealing with them, and running is always an option. Until it's not.
Okay.
God, I am keeping myself calm to be fair, but I really want to know your guys' thoughts on a particular song called "The Poet and the Muse." It is a plot important song, and it is an in between episode song. Really want to know your guys' thoughts on that one. And I will do my best to not geek out. the next episode of this podcast. I will do my best. I will try and refrain myself. Snoo can keep me posted and stay vigilant for when I start to get too much. Speaking of which, I think Snoo.
I don't think Snoo can contain you. Alan Wake awakened something in you, and you just.
It's more than just
Go.
Alan Wake. It's the whole thing, and seeing the
It's the
pieces.
Remedyverse.
It's seeing all the pieces connected and how things got there, and realizing where it all comes from and the foundations it's built upon. My narrative style, I owe to Alan Wake. My D&D DM playing is because of Alan Wake. At the same time, though, probably the witness art on the whiteboard next to me is also probably because of Alan Wake. That's probably true too.
I can't believe it's still on that whiteboard.
It is permanently on that whiteboard. It is not coming off.
Like, it's amazing to me that like an accident hasn't happened.
I think the corner got smudged, and I see some lines that have gone through it, but otherwise, it is still on there. And it's never leaving. Okay, the demon has been dealt with. I'm fine. I'm normal. I'm totally normal.
You just continue to reinforce that it was the right decision not to prank you like Gray wanted me to.
You are 100% right in not pranking me like how Gray wanted to. You hear that, Gray? I know you're here, and I know you're listening. Calling you out. You've been called. And now it's quiet.
Yes, all the recommendations have been given.
Ugh. I have a thing I could bring up, a thing I could discuss. That's actually really happy news, and I was actually reminded from Ronzi's thing. It's a bit of a meme, and not as big as it once was. But do you guys know about the magazine Game Informer?
Yes.
By name only, yes.
So they were.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
They're a group that's been making game magazines since around 1991, which I thought was funny that it's also 91, and the book Ronzi had us read also came out in 91. It's like, what the fuck? Why did so much happen in 91 specifically? Anyway, so they got bought out by GameStop, right? And they were doing exclusive things where with their membership you were also getting a subscription to the magazine and you were getting it arrived. And then they started doing it digitally because, well, the price of making a print thing became too much. And then they just died. They got shut down, right? As of today, they have come back and they have archived their entire magazine collection from the first one they ever released to the last one they ever released on their website for free. And they are going to be resuming printing their own things independently.
Oh, that's fun.
And I think that
Hell
that's
yeah.
kind of fucking crazy. That's some fucking passion right there. That was cool. And while I was getting prepped beforehand, I actually flipped through and found an old edition that my dad had. And I fucking opened that thing and flipped through it, seeing advertisements for discussing Resident Evil, the brand new spooky game that came out, and then seeing advertisements for the fucking Sega Saturn right alongside with it, and discussions from people being like, so the Nintendo 64 controller, what's up with this? Being like, wow, that was new. That was a new conversation at the time, wasn't it? Holy shit.
Yep.
The next issue after that one was the release of Mario 64, and it's just fucking, that was in such a short time frame, wasn't it? Those two came out very similar times, didn't they? God damn. You okay? Your VTuber's having a bit of a
I'm
freak out.
so excited that I get to recommend for everyone to watch a shit
I
show.
put that back down.
That's the point. That's one of the
I'm
things
so
about this.
happy.
Isn't that cool? That's one of the things I wanted to do when I saw the podcast Versus Wolves do it. But again, their version is much more aggressive than what we're doing.
Yeah,
Wait.
they're like they turn
I'm-
into a PvP fight.
Mhm.
There's something that I would like to recommend, but it's somewhat hesitant to do it.
What's that?
Why is that?
It's a film.
And
It's
How
called
much sex
Undercover.
is it?
No,
Undercover Brother? Is that
very
it?
little. Yes, Undercover Brother.
I definitely watched that in my youth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a product of its time.
It really the fuck is a product of its time, ain't it?
Do they use other people's words?
No.
Okay.
Think about the title.
Okay.
You know what? Why don't you just look up what the cover is? I think that.
Oh, see, I have another show that I would recommend. But I feel like some of you might have already seen it.
And?
I
There's
mean,
no.
how many of you have Amazon Prime TV?
I think
It'll
Joe's.
be me.
Mox does.
Just because I have them.
I feel like if
it's
anyone in
this
here's gonna have
is-
seen it, it will be Chalk.
What is it?
Invincible.
I think we've all watched that.
Oh, I fucking
Yeah.
love
I haven't.
Invincible.
Except for
Invincible's
Grunge.
so
Well-
fucking good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's so good. That would have been one of my other recommendations.
Yeah, it's just looking at it. It's just like, oh yeah, it was that came out around the same time like Black Dynamite was popular too, wasn't it?
Oh god.
Have you guys
What,
all watched?
Undercover
have any of
Brother?
you watched
Yeah.
the Boys
Invincibles.
TV show?
Yes, New and I are several
Yes.
seasons.
I
into it.
haven't actually.
Oh, I fucking love the Boys. That shit's so good.
So there's a thing I like the show The Boys.
to fucking die.
Actually,
I want to fucking kill her.
The show
Like,
is incredible.
I'm sorry. Within the first few, like, literally within the first 30 seconds of that show starting, to that girl getting blown to
Exploded.
smithereens, I was fucking hooked. I was like, It was one of those things where I wasn't hooked because I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I was like, the fuck have I just watched? And I
Uh-huh.
couldn't stop watching.
So, for one, have you
Morbid,
s-
like
I'm sorry. You do.
I was gonna say, it's morbid human curiosity. It's the same phenomena.
Oh
like
my god, yeah.
the reason why you have tailbacks on the motorways or the highways is usually because there's a car accident and you're told not to slow down to
Yeah.
look. But what do humans
Everyone
do?
does.
They
Slow
slow
down to
down
look.
and they look. What if, as, long
I'm
as,
also
as soon
just
as
gonna
one
say
person
the
does it,
octopus
everyone
because
else
if you
does
know,
it.
you know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a thing that Snoo hasn't seen yet.
Oh, Snoo!
Yeah.
What was it?
Don't.
What was
just-
it?
I
no,
need a live
shh.
reaction
Okay,
to
no, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So,
that. Nothing.
have you seen the animated thing that they did for the boys?
Yeah, I have. What was it? It was
They had their own animated sequence of things. I want to bring this one up because I figured you had seen it. There is one in particular where it's the guy who gets the fucking super drugs and goes flying into space and then flies into that crowd of people, right? That
Yes.
particular one. That one's done in the style of the comic of The Boys, and The Boys comic is so much different than the actual show. The Boys comic is not good.
No.
It's awful. It's very much so the author of The Boys hates superheroes.
He really does.
That's actually his thing.
well
He hates,
evident by where the TV show would
Mm,
go. I
Not
would argue.
quite.
not quite.
The comic book is absolutely about look at these.
Are you up to date on it? Have you seen the most recent season?
Yes, I know what's up.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but the internet has spoiled the fuck out of it for me. So I know it's why I know about the thing.
Thanks,
Anywho.
internet.
Yeah, thanks internet.
Yep.
He is going, look at these idiots in their fucking outfits and their holier than thou mentality. Let's break them down into the worst possible things. To give you an idea, there is a character who is completely different in the show Well, a lot of them are, but this one in particular is different in the show than he is in the comic books. He's that soldier dude. What is his name? Why am I fucking forgetting his name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hold on.
No one hear me. It's just Soldier Boy, isn't it?
It is Soldier Boy. Yes. So Soldier Boy in the show. Not exactly what I would describe as the best person, but you know, he's a dude, right? He's a character. He's a very
like
interesting
Deadpool,
character.
yeah.
Right, yeah. The first image of him in the comic book is him standing there with his knees bent in, his shield up in his spandex uniform, pissing himself. Literally pissing himself. You can see the urine coming down his leg.
Oh, God.
Because that is how much the author fucking hates superheroes. That is what he done. And
I tell you what I fucking hated. How much plastic surgery Starlight had between the last 2 seasons.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Billy Butcher in the comic is a self-insert of the author of him literally killing these heroes and being like, I'm better. Look how much cooler I am. And it's not fun. It's not great. And everything about the boys is just kind of gross to read, and everyone is a fucking hypocrite.
I don't think I'm old enough to read the comics.
You're probably not. I'm not old enough to read the comics. And I've read them. And I have taken
Tell you what's also
Oh,
weird, fun fact. You know Huey?
Yes.
He is, like, engaged to or going out with, you know, the female, like, presidentially kind of leadership lady woman in the show? Her.
Yeah,
Carol?
the older woman
Yeah.
that they work with, right?
Yeah, whatever her name is. I can't remember what her name is in the show. Just the government lady.
Would you like to know a fun fact about Huey in the comics? He's bald.
Yeah.
Victoria Newham.
And the reason why
Yeah,
Mother's
whatever.
Milk is named Mother's Milk is awful in the comic.
Yeah.
It's actually so fucked up, that show.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
it's kind of crazy. I love it.
But they have
Because it's so off the deep end.
unlike the comic, the show has something to fucking say, and they are
Yeah.
the characters they have made are terrible and they're monsters, but in the best way, because they're not monsters for the sake of monsters or taking the piss. They're monsters because this is what fucking the Hollywood scene and corporation does to people in positions of power. Technically
I'll
speaking,
tell you who does my fucking head in that show.
who's that?
Ashley.
Ashley, that's
Ashley.
that's
You're
the
like,
PR
that's
girl, right?
The ginger assistant woman.
Oh.
Yeah, the
You know, she,
yeah.
oh my
Hey.
god.
I see.
That
Hating on
bitch.
gingers.
Trust me, you'll hate
This
it
one
too.
deserves it.
She deserves it.
okay.
She's also got a face that is so punchable.
I propose something. Do you want to keep your recommendation for the Island for now, or do you want to change it to the boys so we can have a more in-depth discussion about this next time?
No, I'll keep it at the island for now.
Okay, I figured
There's
I'd-
always the following podcast.
exactly. You are
Exactly.
True.
correct. Alrighty.
Also, I feel like the boys is a longer.
I mean, we just do the seasons.
Stu,
Yeah,
did you
like
end up
with
looking
my-
up-
Huh?
Go on. No, you go.
Oh, I was saying like with my recommendation, I said like you only have to watch season 1 if you're not really jiving with it, but I really recommend watching both seasons.
I'm gonna have a lot to watch, and that's gonna be awful for me.
Yeah, Mox can't binge watch. He'll die.
Yeah. You can do like a
You're
couple
not a binge
episodes, if
watcher.
that.
I'm not. I can't.
That's what I do.
Um,
It's the shit I live for.
yeah.
He can watch 2, maybe 3 episodes at a time before he needs to get away or he will go insane.
What
was
can I
it
say?
like,
I like to play my very
Uh,
violent video games and then talk about the funny writer.
It's
I
okay
was
because my
gonna say,
TV show's
did you end up
shit, so you'll
looking-
just be laughing the whole time. You'll just be like, these people can't act, and I'll be like, yeah, I know.
I was asking if you did end up going to look up the cover for Undercover Brother.
I did. And because you told me to look up the cover, I was so worried I was going to see blackface.
No.
No.
That you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, fair. Neil Patrick Harris is in the film.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Not entirely sure if it'd be the one
Yeah,
that you want to make point out, but he's in it.
So like you're worried about that kind of recommendation there, Ronzi. I have 2 recommendations in my back pocket that are my if I have nothing else, I have them, and they're both awful. They are both genuinely bad times.
Yeah.
One of them, I don't mind saying these. One of them is Higurashi. That's a bad time. That's a bad time.
God.
Oh, I fucking love
Oh,
it, but my
God.
god, it's a bad time. And the other one, in particular, is even worse, and that's Song of Saya.
Oh, I would say Saya's way worse than
Oh,
Higurashi.
Way worse than Higurashi. But I have those in recommendations because I actually genuinely enjoy them, and there is something to be gleaned from them. That being said, they're bad times. So pray I don't have to come up with that.
They are miserable stories. Very interesting stories. They are miserable though.
Uh-huh. One is about a group of children who are stuck in a time loop having to kill each other. And when I say children, I do mean children. And
Yep,
the other
these are
one
elementary and middle schoolers.
is about a dude who had a ski accident, and now he sees everybody as vicious, horrible blobs, except for one person, a girl who visited him in his hospital who looks normal. And she's...
So I forgot. I forgot that the effect of him happened from a ski accident.
Yeah, he hit his head in a ski accident. Yeah. So it's that she is the one thing keeping him grounded into this world, as everything in the world is now disgusting to him, and the madness that seeps in through it. It's a very Lovecraftian nightmare story, and I goddamn love parts of it and hate other parts of it. Oh god. But those are recommendations if I run out of things to recommend. Then again, I almost recommended Fear and Hunger this month.
You would have been fucked for that. You would have been fucked up.
I'm really
That
glad
was my
that
recommendation
I
on the
skipped
fly.
this one.
I didn't. I came up with my recommendation on the fly. I didn't realize recommendations were a thing. So
Yeah.
I'll think better for next time.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, it is essentially we are giving each other homework for the month.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
a teacher. That's all I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. The 8-bit theater was literally on the fly. That was not one that I was going to be recommending, but I figured I can't really recommend another book.
I had been sitting here with the fucking Steam gift page open since we sat down.
Hand on the fucking button.
Yep, it was sitting just waiting to confirm so I could
Finger on
send
the
it.
trigger.
I was gonna schedule it, but I was like, I don't know when we're gonna actually start the recommendation thing, so I'd rather not just come too early or come up too late. So I'm just gonna do it for
Yeah.
now, and when it's time, I'll hit the button.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
How are we all feeling about charity stream next month?
I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very
Literally
It'll
my
be
favorite
fun.
stream. It's like literally my favorite stream and favorite day of like the year.
Is the list
we-
of things we're doing on the spreadsheet?
Nope, because it's not even existing yet.
No,
Ah.
I was
That's my job for tomorrow.
I was literally about to ask on that.
No,
so.
it's my job for tomorrow. I know for certain that we'll be playing.
The modded Minecraft you wanted to do.
Yeah, we're gonna do modded Minecraft at the start again. Just because it's so easy for people to come in, out, chill, and we always end up killing like 5 or 6 hours on that. Then the rest of it's currently kind of open. I'm gonna have a look through and refine some stuff tomorrow.
I still think party animals.
I got a suggestion as well. So
Okay. Send me store links to all the suggestions, and then I'll have a little
The
look
one that
through
I've
tomorrow.
got, you won't actually need to buy anything because I already have it. And it should be fine.
Yeah, I know, but I just need to. I
Oh,
just want to have a look.
yeah,
at it.
yeah.
Alright, I'll send it to you.
In a world where trust is a luxury and
37
betrayal lurks in every shadow.
It's hard. I'm not gonna do what I normally do, which is like do time slot type shit because we never stick to
Everyone
it.
has a story,
That's fair.
but not everyone
So
is
we're just
telling
gonna
I
do
just
what we
realized
can
the
and have fun.
advertisement for Party Animals has been playing in the background while I was looking up the link. Ah, lol. That's fine. To be clear, though, the initial trailer that's on there for Party Animals is for the new game mode that came out that they added Among Us basically into it, which is neat for that game. Gang Beast Among Us, basically. Speaking of that, we gotta play like Gang Beast as a Thirst Gang group at some fucking point.
I want to play
Question is,
speedruns at
Mox,
some
are we
point.
getting drunk on charity stream?
I can get drunk on the charity stream. I will be your drinking buddy. We definitely are each other's drinking buddies in this.
We definitely are. We are horrific influences on each other, and it's great.
Oh, we were all drunk playing Chain together last time.
Oh yeah, we were, weren't we?
Oh god, yeah, that was not good. That was not good. Oh, have you seen the new one where you've got to push the ball up the hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Ronzi
recommended it.
yeah,
It says
recommend.
that- Yeah, I recommended
Oh
it.
yeah. I don't know if I've got that in me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man, that's stretchy. I think I'm gonna call it here. I think this has been a good podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for being here and doing the recommendations. Hopefully we'll be able to get Chalk on here again at some point.
Someday.
Someday. Any final things you guys want to say?
Awawa.
Abba.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
For listening.
I'm gonna be downloading
Stay
this.
safe out there.
At some point, we're gonna get this edited down and actually put it out there somewhere. But until then, I will stay safe, stay hydrated, and remember to wash your hands. Again, w.gg, poor Ken, 10% off. Push it.
Chill.
Chill,
Drink.
I should find an alcoholic way to do a W mix. I'm sure it's out there. Anywho, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.